controlling me. There's people that love me. I have a great mom, great dad. But I'm so depressed.
We spent the day walking the beach, and we had a conversation, and I asked him about school, and he's like, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. And I said, don't worry about it. Everything is gonna be okay.
It was a nice day out with the family.
Nothing to give any hint of what was to come later in the day.
There was no indication anything was going on.
I've created a monster out of myself the past few years because of my depression. Racing thoughts, suicidal thoughts.
Do you remember when is the last time you saw your brother?
He was like going out the door. I thought he was just going to his friend's house.
You got up in the morning, and how did you know he hadn't come home?
He wasn't there, and we just couldn't find him.
This is not like Conrad not to come home. Then they found his body and around 5:30 in the afternoon. And he died in his truck. Carbon monoxide poisoning. I will live with this forever, the pain.
Right away, we heard from investigators that the medical examiner found that it was a suicide. It wasn't until they started looking at his phone that they realized that there was something else going on here. Because on that phone were hundreds and hundreds of texts from Michelle Carter to Conrad Roy, urging him to end his life.
You can't think about it. You just have to do it. You said you were gonna do it. I don't get why you aren't.
And Michelle Carter admittedly said, do it. She was kind of making fun of him for not taking his own life.
I thought you really wanted to die, but apparently you don't. I feel played and just stupid. You're going to have to prove me wrong, because I just don't think you really want this.
And she kept pressuring him to do it.
You're ready and prepared. All you have to do is turn the generator on, and you be free and happy. No more pushing it off. No more waiting. There was one point where he actually got out of the truck and changed his mind.
Yeah, he was scared.
And she told him to go back in the truck.
Yes.
Carter charged with involuntary manslaughter.
She faces up to 20 years in prison.
This is totally out of left field. I coached Michelle. I know her as a good kid.
I don't believe that she has a conscience. She knew exactly what she was doing and what she said.
Hang yourself, jump off a building, stab yourself. I don't know. There's a lot of ways.
And it's the texts that become the weapon.
How could she cause a death when she was 35 miles away?
In these circumstances, this is almost akin to loading the gun and handing it over. Who knows? Who knows when you have your hand on the trigger when you're sending a text?
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
This is NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Hey, hungry? Shout you a crock burger.
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the troubled case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise. Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come in.
Okay.
Tracker. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
It's not realistic. What's going in my head that keeps on piling and piling and piling.
1 month before 18-year-old Conrad Roy took his own life, when the minds of many teens wandered to carefree summer days, Conrad's thoughts were more serious, introspective.
I need to be comfortable in my skin.
Sitting at his computer in his home in Fairhaven, Massachusetts, Conrad recorded his thoughts on coping with his depression.
I need to relax. I really do.
He wanted to excel. He was just wanted to be this like great person. But in my eyes, he was all that.
In her first television interview, Conrad's mother, Lynn, explains that her son could be his own toughest critic.
It was rough on himself. He really, really struggled with just disappointing, I think, myself and his dad.
And the sooner I like myself, the better I'm going to be.
Lynroy thought her son was getting better.
I do have a lot going for me.
He was getting professional help and on an antidepressant, Celexa. He had been licensed to be a tugboat captain like his dad.
That's a huge accomplishment, to be a captain.
Had just graduated high school, and college with a scholarship was on the horizon.
And he was doing everything that was positive, that was, looking towards his future.
But on July 12, 2014, Conrad drove to a parking lot and, using a gasoline-powered water pump, sat in his pickup truck as it filled with carbon monoxide, knowingly inhaling the deadly fumes, killing himself. All the while, his friend Michelle Carter, then 17, was encouraging Conrad from more than 30 miles away on her phone to take his own life.
I don't understand why you would want someone that was so beautiful inside and out, that had so much, that was such a kind person, to die.
How do you describe what this young woman did?
I cannot. Only she can.
The intersection of the lives of Michelle Carter and Conrad Roy has left a trail of heartbreak and questions about the circumstances that led to such a tragic death.
He's one of the kindest persons. He grew up very sensitive, very humble and kind.
Happy child.
Very happy. Many pictures of him smiling, laughing, until he became a teenager, and I don't know if it was the hormones. He just, became anxious.
Conrad was the oldest child in the family with 2 sisters, Morgan and Camden. Lynn and Conrad's father separated when Conrad was 16, and their divorce hit him especially hard.
I think he was just more worried about me. That's what boys do. They worry about their moms a lot.
Conrad would confide in his friend Ariana Taylor as they spent hours walking along the water.
He wasn't able to explain it to me in a way that I could understand, so he kind of just described it as a darkness and how there would be times where he just kind of wanted to isolate himself from everybody.
Conrad's anxiety and self-doubt had troubled Lynn since he was 16.
He started having trouble sleeping, and we got him treated. And then he had his first suicide attempt a year after, the age of 17.
Conrad had overdosed on acetaminophen.
I worked in a psychiatric hospital, and I never imagined that one of my children would have those feelings.
Do you think he really intended to kill himself at that point?
He did contact a friend.
That friend was Ariana.
He told me that he was really sick and that his mom had just left and that he wanted her to come back.
Ariana immediately got in touch with Conrad's parents, who brought him to the hospital.
He told me, Mom, I will never do that again. He was sorry. And I was sorry as well that he felt that way.
The fact that he wanted you to call his mother, what does that say to you?
It just says that he was calling out for help. That he didn't actually mean what he was doing, but he really needed help, and that this was the only way he kind of thought that he would really get help.
And that help seemed to be working.
He actually was getting a lot better. He told me about how he was going out. He was going to, the high school parties and just hanging out with everybody. I was like, that's amazing.
Michelle Carter was another friend of Conrad's. They met in 2012 while both were vacationing in Florida. Conrad and his sisters were visiting relatives who happened to know Michelle.
How would you describe Michelle? Friendly?
Yeah, she's really friendly. She always made Conrad laugh.
As it turned out, Michelle lived just a few towns over from the Roys in Massachusetts, and the relationship continued after the vacation. But while Michelle called Conrad her boyfriend, his family says the two rarely saw each other, and like so many teens, their interactions were mostly over text messages.
Had your son ever mentioned Michelle Carter?
Yes. After they met in Florida, I met her 2013 at his baseball game, and that was the only time I ever met her. Second time was at his wake.
Michelle and Conrad shared something in common that Lynn did not know. Michelle had her own struggles, including an eating disorder, and both teens at times took antidepressants.
The probability of attraction was they both had their issues.
Softball coach Ed McFarland has known Michelle Carter and her family for a decade. The Michelle he knows is an ideal teammate.
I've never seen her do a mean thing. I've never seen her be mean.
Michelle's high school yearbook paints a picture of an active, well-liked student, one voted class clown, and most likely to brighten your day. But that would not be how her actions would be described on the last day of Conrad's life. That day started out seemingly happy for Conrad, spending time with his family.
That morning on the 12th, what was his mood like?
It was fine. He wanted to, go to the beach with the girls.
While there, Camden at one point noticed her brother sitting alone, texting.
Did you know who he was texting with?
No.
Now you think he was texting with Michelle Carter.
Yeah.
But you didn't know that at the time. And what was his demeanor?
I don't know, he kind of seemed like anxious, like when he was like texting.
Conrad then took his sisters out for ice cream, where his mood seemed to lift.
And when you think back on that, would you have ever guessed there was anything wrong that afternoon?
No.
After going home, Conrad left at about 6 p.m., telling his mother he was going to see a friend.
And I asked him if he was going to be back for dinner, and he said he didn't think so, and that was the last words that he spoke to me.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery. When your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere. Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi, plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir, and when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game. When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives? Politics is about policy. So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare? I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun. Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now? To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face-to-face with the devil.
48 Hours reports.
I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 Hours, 24/7.
Elspeth, I thought I saw you, and then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police. I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
It was July 12, 2014, the heart of summer in New England. Conrad Roy had headed out in his pickup truck around 6 p.m. As the evening passed, Lynn checked to see when he'd be home.
And I texted him, I don't know, before I went to bed, maybe around 10:30, 11, and then I texted him again in the middle of the night.
Conrad didn't respond. Still, Lynn figured everything was okay. She believed he had beaten back much of his anxieties. That night, Conrad's sister Camden unexpectedly heard from Michelle Carter, that 17-year-old who had battled her own mental health issues and lived about an hour away.
How surprised were you that you suddenly got a text from Michelle?
And I thought she was just like his friend, but in the text, she said, like, we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. And I was just like, I looked at my mom, I was like, they are?
Whether teenage love or something else, Michelle was sending out the word. Had anyone heard from Conrad Roy?
And what did she text you exactly?
She was like, hey Camden, like, do you know where your brother is?
Was that unusual for him not to come home?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was not like him at all.
It was sunrise, and still not a word.
So in the morning, I went to by Ariana's house, and he wasn't there.
And so that's when I began to search. Where is he? What happened?
We went by Dad's house. There's no sign of him. Maybe an hour later, I felt like this rush go through my body that I've never felt in my life. And I felt at that point that he wasn't with me.
On the afternoon of July 13th, police found him inside his pickup truck, parked at the local Kmart, his cell phone right next to him.
And he died in his truck. Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Like, got in the car and my mom was just like crying, like the most I ever seen her cry. And she was like, he's gone. And like, she was just like, your brother's gone.
It still hurts just as much as it did then, doesn't it?
I will live with this forever, the pain.
Like, I don't get why it happened. Why did it happen? Why did it happen to him?
And Michelle seemed to take Conrad's death as hard as anyone. Once again, a text was her choice of communication, this time to Lynn. I am so very sorry. Conrad meant so much to me. No one questioned the suicide until cops got a hold of Conrad Roy's phone. It would prove to be an investigation like no other. No gun, no knife, no crucial DNA in this case. Only this, a trail of words, starting with those on the cell phone. Messages with Michelle Carter.
And once investigators found this dialogue, they knew that there was something else up. And they wanted to get to the bottom of it.
Boston Herald legal columnist and 48 Hours consultant Bob McGovern.
And so this thing turned from a suicide investigation into a homicide investigation.
Michelle seemed to be encouraging Conrad not to live, but to die. Texts flew between the two of them for more than a week, right up to the moment he took his own life. I'm determined. I'm happy to hear that. When you get back from the beach, you gotta do it. No more thinking. Yes, no more thinking. You need to just do it. But now, with Conrad Roy dead, Michelle seemed devastated, acting as if his death was a total surprise.
When it came to the funeral, she sat up close to kind of where the family area was. I always described her as seen as the grieving widow. She was just constantly like sobbing.
And 2 months later, Michelle even held a fundraiser to honor Conrad in her town of Plainville. That fall, investigators interviewed Michelle Carter at her high school.
Do you think you had contact with him that day?
I think so.
But Michelle's story was riddled with holes, and police weren't buying it. They poured through her cell phone. Her texts ranged from urgent to ominous, like one sent to her friend Samantha Boardman on July 12th at 8:02 p.m., just minutes after police believed Conrad killed himself. He just called me. I heard moaning like someone was in pain, and he wouldn't answer when I said his name. That text was followed by another. I think he just killed himself. Michelle was texting her friend, but what she wasn't doing was calling for help. And there was at least one more text found on Conrad's phone that now seems telling. Only moments before he died, Michelle asked him this: "Did you delete the messages?" Police would extract more than 1,000 deleted text messages between Conrad and Michelle. Some showed his fear and reluctance to take his life on the very day he died. I don't know, I'm freaking out again. I do want to, but like I'm freaking out for my family. But even as Conrad panicked and considered abandoning his plan to die, Michelle egged him on. She described it to her friend Samantha that September in this text. Sam, his death is my fault. Like, honestly, I could have stopped him. I was on the phone with him, and he got out of the car because it was working, and he got scared, and I effing told him to get back in. The road to justice would be complicated. Massachusetts has no law against encouraging or assisting suicide, and Michelle was miles away when Conrad died.
People don't realize in our generation, texting does a lot. It's like having the person right there in front of you when you're texting somebody.
And the Supreme Court of Massachusetts seems to agree. In the summer of 2016, the court ruled that even though Michelle was an hour away when Conrad Roy died, she had a virtual presence that night in that pickup truck. It's a controversial legal theory born out of a digital world. And so nearly 3 years later, Michelle Carter will stay on trial in this courtroom for involuntary manslaughter. Michelle's attorneys, fearing how the text would play, advised her to waive her right to a jury trial. She put her fate in the hands of veteran judge Lawrence Moniz.
Are you doing that of your own free will, knowingly and voluntarily?
Yes.
We're NCIS. Do you guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide?
Can we get to the body, please?
Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy, passionate.
This is a great team for what?
We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, two things. Pretty sure it's three.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be. That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready. Ready? Yeah. No, stop! Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal! Oh! He's in a wheelchair! What do you want? Not stop the car! That's a kid! Kid! Did I pass? Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness.
Innovative.
Magical.
It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
God, you do your research.
I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying.
We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
She assisted and devised and advised and planned his suicide.
Inside this Massachusetts courtroom, Michelle Carter, now 20 years old, looks more like a prep school student than a criminal defendant.
And on July 12th, 2014, as his truck was filling with carbon monoxide, he was scared. He got out. It was the defendant on the other end of the phone who ordered him back in, then listened for 20 minutes as he cried in pain, took his last breath, and died.
The alleged weapon in this case? Michelle Carter's own words.
What she did, in theory, according to the prosecutors, is she recklessly caused Conrad Roy's death.
The state's case revolves around Michelle's chilling text messages to Conrad as he was apparently having second thoughts the day he took his life.
The defendant texted Conrad, "You can't think about it, you just have to do it. You said you were going to do it. I don't get why you aren't."
And then there was this. 10 days before he died, Michelle sent him this text message assuring him not to worry about his family's feelings. Yeah, they'll probably blame themselves for a while, but they will get over it and learn to accept it, a notion that baffles and upsets Conrad's mother.
I think she needs to be held responsible for her actions because she knew exactly what she was doing.
Lynn Roy testified that on the last day of his life, Conrad was in a good frame of mind.
He was eating tortilla chips and guacamole on the way to the beach.
In July of 2014, did he ever mention he wanted to harm himself?
No. I knew he was a little depressed, but I thought he was doing great.
But prosecutors contend that Michelle and her incessant texting had immense influence over Conrad, even though Michelle was more than 30 miles away from him when he took his life. That her virtual presence caused him to do it.
She helped him devise a plan to kill himself using a combustion engine to poison himself with carbon monoxide gas.
Michelle sent Conrad this text message: "I'm not going to sleep until you are in the car with a generator on."
Your Honor, this case is a suicide case. It is not a homicide.
But defense attorney Joseph Cataldo painted a very different picture.
The evidence of the texting is overwhelming that Conrad Roy was on this path to take his own life for years. Michelle Carter was not present. Michelle Carter had been texting with him. She did not physically see this individual for over 1 year.
The defense brings up Conrad's acetaminophen overdose when he was 17 and claims he had been suicidal for years, in part because of his parents' divorce, and he had a contentious relationship with his father. And if the judge is considering Michelle's text messages, he should look at all the messages between the teenagers. Even up to a month before Conrad's death, Michelle seemed like a concerned friend, trying to help a socially awkward and emotionally fragile Conrad. On June 19th, Michelle texts Conrad, "Are you 100% positive you're never going to commit suicide? Be honest with me. Do you think about doing it?" "No, I'm not." In other messages, she talks about wanting to take him to a therapist or a mental health hospital. But on July 1st, 11 days before his suicide, texts between Michelle and Conrad took a sinister turn. Prosecutors let the words tell the story.
She talked him out of his doubts, point by point. She assured him that his family would understand why he did it. She researched logistics.
Michelle had been sending Conrad suggestions on how to kill himself for weeks. Hanging is painless and takes like a second if you do it right. But what would drive anyone to send a text like that? Prosecutors say Michelle was desperate for friends and attention. And she got it when she talked about her suicidal boyfriend. Just days before he died, she sent texts to girls she wanted to be close with in an effort to get their attention and sympathy.
Lexi Evelyn, please.
Pretending Conrad was missing.
Do you remember getting a message about Conrad being missing?
Yes.
He's missing, like they don't know where he is.
Prosecutors say Conrad still being alive presented a problem for Michelle. She could be exposed as a liar. So it was important he kill himself. On July 12th, the night he did take his life, Conrad drove to a Kmart parking lot and texted Michelle, "Leaving now. Okay, you can do this." Okay, I'm almost there. That was the last text Conrad ever sent to anyone. But there was also a 46-minute phone call. Michelle called him. She was the last person to speak with him. After that call ended, Michelle texted her friend Samantha.
I'm going to ask you to read that text message, please, aloud.
Sam, he just called me and there was a loud noise like a motor and I heard moaning like someone was in pain and he wouldn't answer when I said his name. I stayed on the phone for like 20 minutes and that's all I heard.
Then, 27 minutes later, Michelle sent Samantha another text message.
I think he just killed himself.
Prosecutors say Michelle, within hours, began building a virtual alibi. Knowing that he was likely dead, she began acting like a concerned friend, sending Conrad this text message. I'm scared. Are you okay? I love you. Please answer. Michelle showed little emotion at the trial. Her defense relies on this psychiatrist, Peter Bregan, to explain her behavior, even though he was not treating Michelle at the time. He testifies that she was involuntarily intoxicated by an antidepressant drug she started taking 3 months earlier, Celexa.
She has an involuntary intoxication where she is not forming a criminal intent, I'm going to harm him. She was enmeshed in a delusion where she's thinking that it's a good thing to help him die.
But prosecutors completely dismiss that theory.
She does not tell the Roy family about being on the phone with Conrad the night before, does she? His dead body is in a car 24 hours, and she withholds that information.
She's psychotic, deluded, she's disturbed, she's out of touch.
Inexplicably, Michelle sent more than 80 texts to Conrad after he died. In some, she even apologizes for not saving him. But it wasn't just Conrad she texted. The prosecution is hoping the judge pays particular attention to this text that she sent to her friend Samantha a week after Conrad's body was discovered. They have to go through his phone and see if anyone encouraged him to do it on text and stuff. They read my messages with him, I'm done. His family will hate me, and I could go to jail.
Meet the tech billionaire who's creating autonomous weapons and has big ideas about the future of warfare.
It's a scary idea to some people.
It's a scary idea, but I mean, that's the world we live in.
Politics isn't a game.
When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives?
Politics is about policy.
So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare?
I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun.
Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now?
To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
Do you believe this case could be solved?
Yes, I do.
It's not a violent crash.
No.
Whoa.
There's our connection.
Did this look like an accident or something else?
Something entirely different.
I never would have guessed how this ended.
48 Hours, now streaming on CBS and Paramount+.
Crisis in the Middle East. Stay with CBS News for continuing coverage.
Full, free, and absolute pardon unto Richard Nixon.
Money Watch is your no-nonsense guide to taking control of your finances, where I offer practical, real-world advice with no jargon and no judgment. I'm Jill Schlesinger. Listen to Money Watch wherever you get your podcasts.
This is CBS.
I'm Major Garrett in Washington, inviting you to the Takeout. Politics, policy, people, and pop culture served up weeknights. What's on the menu? Plenty. The day's happenings with curiosity, informality, and humor. It's serious discussion, but we do not take ourselves too seriously. Who is a better speaker, Mike Johnson or you? Oh, come on. Join me on the Takeout. Streaming right here on CBS News 24/7.
Sunday morning, taking it easy in the Big Easy. From the food to the styles to music, we're letting the good times roll in New Orleans.
Her actions, Your Honor, on July 12, 2014, caused the death of Conrad Roy. They were reckless, and she knew it.
According to the prosecution, Michelle Carter helped put Conrad Roy in his grave.
It was a felony, and she caused serious bodily harm.
According to the defense, she didn't know what she was doing.
Good morning, Your Honor.
She was psychotic, delusional, involuntarily intoxicated from taking the antidepressant Celexa.
Michelle Carter underwent an involuntary intoxication in June and July.
To prominent child and adolescent psychiatrist Dr. Harold Koplowitz, that makes no sense at all. Though not a witness in this case, he says those drugs, called SSRIs, are remarkably safe.
They don't make you delusional. They don't make you psychotic.
And they don't make you intoxicated.
They don't make you drunk.
Dr. Koplowitz believes the act of texting was more mind-altering than any drug.
And the problem with text is that it separates you. It makes you feel less responsible.
But no amount of distance can explain her behavior, especially the prosecution's contention that Michelle ordered Conrad back into the truck, says the doctor.
It's very hard to understand where the man says to a friend, listen, I'm feeling pain. I don't want to do this. I'm going to get out of the car. There's no way to seem to make sense of the fact that someone then says, a friend says, get back in the car and kill yourself. This really has a vicious and a very, very malicious quality to it.
No matter how malicious, Dr. Koplowitz says, Michelle really couldn't have convinced Conrad to kill himself if he hadn't already been suicidal.
So while Michelle could not force Conrad to kill himself, she could enhance his risk of killing himself. She could encourage him to complete the act because he was already on his way. And simultaneously, she could have screamed out for help, which might have prevented this deadly outcome.
I want to recover from this, and I feel like I haven't recovered from it yet. I feel like I still have a long way to go.
Clearly, these heartbreaking videos now posted on YouTube show a young man looking for that different outcome, says Dr. Koplowitz.
You expose yourself like this, it says, please help me.
I've created a monster out of myself the past few years because of my depression.
Sadly, Conrad Roy is not alone. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, we lose approximately 4,600 young people between the ages of 10 and 24 to suicide each year. One reason is that teenagers are simply more prone to depression. Another reason, they're more susceptible to peer pressure. Which is why the Netflix show 13 Reasons Why has caused such an uproar. In the show, a teenage girl dies by suicide and leaves 13 recordings to other teens whom she blames.
I think it's one of the most dangerous programs on the air right now for the simple reason that it glamorizes suicide. Unfortunately, suicide's very contagious. We know that teenagers who watch these kind of TV programs are more likely to think about suicide, are more likely to attempt suicide, are more likely to commit suicide.
It appears that Michelle Carter may have been one of those teens influenced by what she saw on TV. Not 13 Reasons Why, but perhaps an episode of Glee. When an actor on Glee died of an overdose in real life, the show wrote his death into the script. Listen to the similarities between what the character Rachel says about the loss of her boyfriend and what Michelle later says about losing Conrad.
I had it all planned out. We would live happily ever after.
It's a good plan. Did you tell him?
I didn't have to. He knew.
Michelle's text to a friend after Conrad's death is almost word for word. I had it all planned out. He knew, too. I didn't have to tell him.
He was my person.
Michelle writes the exact same line. He was my person.
Poor her. Her boyfriend died. They were going to get married one day, and now she's the grieving girlfriend.
According to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, it all boiled down to that starring role as the grieving girlfriend.
The Commonwealth's position, Your Honor, is that she wanted attention.
After 6 days of testimony, closing arguments begin. The defense is up first.
The evidence actually establishes that Conrad Roy caused his own death.
Joe Cataldo reminds the judge that Conrad had attempted suicide before and points to a text Conrad wrote to Michelle.
There's nothing anyone can do for me that's gonna make me want to live. It's very bad to hear, but I want to let you know that truthfully.
The decision to die was Conrad's, not Michelle's, says Cataldo.
He created this situation, Your Honor.
Most importantly, Michelle was nowhere near Conrad when he killed himself.
There's no evidence that Michelle Carter has any physical actions whatsoever in this case with Conrad Roy's decision. It was all of his physical activity.
But prosecutor Katie Rayburn gets the last word.
Although she wasn't physically present, she was in his ear, she was in his mind, she was on the phone, and she was telling him to get back in the car, even though she knew he was going to die. She absolutely knew it was wrong, and she absolutely caused the death of this 18-year-old boy. And I ask you to find her guilty.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you.
Clearly delish.
So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise. Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush.
What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I used sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
and reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. The clock, it's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
Days after Judge Moniz began his deliberations, two families prepared themselves for his verdict.
Mr. Roy.
For the Carter family, freedom is at stake. For the Roys, it's about justice for their son.
She instructs Mr. Roy to get back into the truck, well knowing of all of the feelings that he has exchanged with her, his ambiguities, his fears, his concerns.
The judge said Carter caused a dangerous environment, and under Massachusetts law, she had a duty to save him.
She called no one. She did not issue a simple additional instruction. Get out of the truck. Ms. Carter, please stand. This court, having reviewed the evidence and applied the law thereto, now finds you guilty on the indictment charging you with the involuntary manslaughter of the person Conrad Roy III.
Guilty. A verdict that is groundbreaking in terms of recognizing the deadly power of words, but one that leaves no winners, just heartbreak.
I know we all wish that he had the opportunity to grow up into adulthood, to become a tugboat captain, and to enjoy his future.
Nearly 7 weeks after being convicted, Michelle Carter, who is out on bail, arrives for sentencing, where hostile words greet her. She could face 20 years in prison.
Please remain standing for one moment while you are sworn.
First, Conrad's father and sister recall a life cut short.
Not a day goes by without him being my first thought waking up and my last thought going to bed.
Michelle Carter exploited my son's weaknesses and used him as a pawn in her own well-being. She has not shown any remorse. Where was her humanity?
The prosecutor reads a statement from Conrad's mother, Lynn, who found it too difficult to speak.
I do not know where to begin. I pray that his death will save lives someday.
Lynn wants to make it a crime to encourage suicide.
I pray that a law comes forth so that another mother does not have to endure what I am. I do not believe that another can go on to encourage someone to take their life, and it can be okay.
The prosecution asks that Carter serve 7 to 12 years behind bars.
She has shown no remorse, and in fact, after Conrad's death, she sought attention and sympathy for herself. All she had to do was say, "Get out of the car."
Michelle Carter does not speak at sentencing, but her attorney does and asks for probation.
Ms. Carter does regret what happened. She also sent a letter to the probation department where she accepts responsibility. This is a terrible, terrible tragedy. And she very much regrets this and prays Your Honor's judgment of leniency.
Then Michelle Carter learns her fate.
Ms. Carter, please stand.
He sentences Michelle Carter to 15 months behind bars, a sentence that does not please the defense, who appealed the conviction.
We're asking you, Your Honor, to stay the jail sentence until we can have our day in court.
The judge takes the request seriously, recognizing the significance of this case.
The conviction may be reversible, but the time spent in prison is not.
And then makes a stunning announcement.
That a grant of a stay through the Massachusetts court system only is warranted.
A stay, meaning Michelle Carter would be out on probation, not in jail, while her appeal made its way through the Massachusetts courts. It was a decision that disappointed Lynn Roy and her daughters.
We're just going to honor his life and do it in the best way we can. We want him to be proud of us.
All rise!
In February of 2019, Michelle Carter's conviction was upheld.
Ms. Carter will now be taken into custody.
And she began serving her 15-month sentence. Her lawyers appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. This week, the court declined to hear that appeal. In response, her lawyers issued the following statement: "We are deeply disappointed that the Supreme Court has decided not to review Michelle Carter's wrongful conviction." Lynn Roy's focus now is on changing laws.
What would you like there to be? What kind of law?
I would love one in honor of him, his name, Conrad's Law.
There's people that love me. I have a great mom.
My son mattered. He matters. Will always matter. Someone that had a family and future and mom and dad. I will never get over him.
Okay, so let's just start at the beginning.
Well, let me start with this.
What is at stake here?
What is the answer then?
Do you know why?
You want me to just keep going?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Were there death threats?
How is this possible?
What's wrong with that argument?
Are you saying they lied?
Have you told the government that?
Why won't you say the word crisis? You're not answering my question.
Is that scary?
Does that make sense?
What do you mean? What does that mean in Did any of that make sense? What's your response?
What happened?
Why?
It's time for the CBS News Original 60 Minutes, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
There is no more room in our city.
New York City is receiving record numbers of migrants.
Today, we're going to have more than 500 adults and children come through that door.
Tensions rise as shelters reach max capacity.
We don't have to take care of them.
CBS Reports goes inside a crisis cities and families are facing as they fight to survive.
The United States still has that glimmer of hope for people to come here.
Fighting for a future. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 hours. Now streaming on the free CBS News app. Don't miss true crime anytime you want, anywhere you go with the 48 Hours podcast. Real crimes, real justice. Listen to 48 Hours on Apple Podcasts.
I'm Major Garrett in Washington, inviting you to The Takeout. Politics, policy, people, and pop culture streaming right here on CBS News 24/7.
Money Watch is your no-nonsense guide to taking control of your finances, where I offer practical, real-world advice with no jargon and no judgment. I'm Jill Schlesinger. Listen to Money Watch wherever you get your podcasts.
48 Hours presents.
I began writing as a process of healing. The writing, I found, really helped me deal with what had happened. Since as far back as I can remember, I've had the same dream. I'm running. I was constantly running away from someone. We lived on 13 acres, so I could never get someone to hear my screams or run fast enough. I would run down the hill of the front to our house across the fields. There were many mornings that I would wake up after a night of running all night in my dreams, but then run down the stairs to play with my younger sister. We had a great time growing up together. We had that special bond that you hear people talk about. We were so close. I didn't get to hear the answering machine until I got home that night. I remember there being an oddly high number of calls, but 3 of the messages were from my dad. The room was dark and she woke up. She was lying on her side and I put my head to her face and just held her. It was there that she told me the worst story that I had heard in my life.
In late August 1997, I was a student at the University of Kentucky. It was about the second night of classes. It was a Thursday night, and I went to a party with my boyfriend, Chris Meyer, not far from campus. It was a little bit boring, so we packed up Chris's backpack with some beers, and we were gonna head down to the tracks. We sat there and talked for a while. I'm not sure how long, but we got up to leave and go back to the party. And we started walking along the tracks. And when we got to an electrical box beside the tracks, a man came out from behind it. He asked us for money. We, of course, said we don't have any money. We're poor college kids. And I don't know if it was an ice pick, if it was a screwdriver, but he had it on Chris really the whole time. He asked Chris to get down on his hands and knees. He went through his backpack and didn't find anything that he wanted. And I didn't realize it, but he was tying up Chris's hands with the backpack behind his back. And he took off my belt and tied up my hands behind my back with my belt. And he actually pulled Chris from the tracks on the gravel into the grass beside the tracks. In my head, I was panicking, and I was like saying my last prayer and thinking I'm going to die.
Maybe this is what I had been running from in all those dreams as a child. This horrific story that happened to my sister.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
This is NCIS.
You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what.
Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Hey, hungry? Shout you a crock burger.
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the troubled case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come in.
Okay.
Tracker. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
It was very dark and you couldn't see very well. So it was very startling to see someone come out that was crouched behind an electrical box. Chris and I were looking at each other, I think, in disbelief that this was actually going on. Like, we were looking at each other very confused. Like, what in the heck is happening? You know, I remember saying, why are you doing this? What do you want? Do you want credit cards, ATM cards? You can have our car. It's just parked down the street. You know, we were just trying to figure out what he wanted. And at this point, our attacker ripped a shirt and he gagged us. I actually stuck my tongue out so that the gag wouldn't work. It just fell off. We had split seconds in where our attacker would go back up to the tracks and we were down in the grass. And so we could talk to each other. And Chris and I started strategizing, you know, saying, okay, should I run? Can you get untied? I got my hands untied. I couldn't get my feet untied. I ripped Chris's gag off of his mouth. And so we were talking to each other, trying to figure out how we were going to get away, because Chris kept saying, you know, if you can get yourself untied, get away, run away. And because he couldn't get it, his arms were all tied up in his backpack, and he couldn't get untied. And I really don't know how much time passed before our attacker came down carrying a rock, and he came over and literally just dropped it on Chris's head. I think at that point I went into survival mode. I, you know, see him drop this rock on Chris's head, and he climbed on top of me. I realized at that point that he was going to rape me. I fought him. I tried to hit him. I tried to kick him. I tried to scream. That's when he took that weapon that he had and he held it to my neck and he said, "Look how easily I could kill you." And that's when he stabbed me in my neck. So I just stopped. I was like, okay, well, you know, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. staring at every scar he had, every tattoo he had. I was thinking, let me remember everything about you that I can, because we'll get you at some point. And I tried to rip off my fingernails and dig in the dirt so that if I was taken away, someone would know that I had been there. I started saying, you know, where have you been? What do you need? You know, how can I help you? You know, I really have a family that wants to see me again. I said, do you have friends? Do you have a family? I was begging him, please don't hurt me. You know, I will let you go. I won't tell anybody what happened here, just don't hurt me. And that's when he started hitting me. I don't remember being hit. I was hit with some sort of wooden board. I think I put my hand up to block it, but I was hit 5 or 6 times in the front of my face, and then I turned over and I was hit 5 or 6 times in the back of my head. I'm positive that he probably knocked me unconscious, and my breathing was shallow enough that he thought he had killed me. I don't know how long I laid there, but at some point, I got up and I realized that he was gone. I knew that I was injured. I knew that I was hurt. I don't think I knew what my injuries were. I realized that my mouth wasn't shutting right, and I was covered in blood. I walked about 200 yards or so, maybe on the rocks, along the tracks.
It was probably 1, 2 in the morning. It was between 1 and 2. I was sitting in my chair studying. And out of the corner of my eye, I just glimpsed something go across the front yard. She was covered in blood from head to toe, and I could not figure out where all the blood was coming from. Her face, it looked like a boxer whenever they get cut during a boxing match. At that point, I brought her in and set her down on the couch, and she collapsed on the couch. I thought she was going to die. There was no doubt in my mind. And I kept losing her a little bit here and there, and I just kept talking to her because I definitely didn't want her to pass out. You know, I was just trying to keep her awake until the paramedics got there.
And I did keep saying to him, my friend's still out there. Be sure they know my friend's still out there. My friend's still out there.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery.
When your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere.
Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi, plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir, and when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game.
When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives?
Politics is about policy.
So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like health care?
I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun.
Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now?
To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face to face with the devil.
48 hours reports. I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 hours, 24/7.
Elspeth! Oh, I thought I saw you. And then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police. I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
On August 29, 1997, I received a call at home about 3 o'clock in the morning that there'd been an attack on 2 students along the railroad tracks. My lieutenant asked me to come out and said it was a bad one. Another detective and I were sent over to the University of Kentucky Hospital to check in on the victim. On the way, we learned her name was Holly Dunn.
Her face was disoriented. She had a broken eye socket, a broken jaw, lots of cuts across her face. And then, of course, staples of where they could, just to stop the bleeding, they couldn't even, cut her hair. They just stapled on top of her hair. And even in that state of her looking the way that she did, I can just remember this feeling of overwhelming gratitude and love that she was alive. Just feeling so thankful that she was alive and that she was there. I have felt so guilty to not be there, to know that your sister is begging for her life. She is begging someone for her life. And you're sleeping. I remember they weren't talking about Chris, and eventually I asked my dad, I just said, "Chris is dead, isn't he?" And my dad was like, "Yes, he is." It was very hard to accept the fact that I lived through this and Chris didn't. And it was just, I just felt like it wasn't fair. That it's not fair that I'm still alive and that Chris isn't. Chris was so friendly. He was very laid back and down to earth. He loved the outdoors. He didn't have a care in the world. I couldn't attend the funeral. I was really upset about that, only because I really wanted to attend. I had, never really got the chance to say goodbye, and I wanted to, have that chance to have some peace.
Despite her state, she was ready and willing to try to communicate what had happened to her.
I was really trying to remember every detail about my attacker. And I remember hearing his accent, thinking, that is a Mexican accent.
Holly described the suspect as a male, possibly Hispanic, 5'6", 5'8" in height, kind of a wavy black hair. Wearing glasses. She said that he wasn't muscular, but he seemed somewhat wiry.
They repaired my jaw. They actually kind of just realigned it and wired my mouth shut. And really that was the only thing that they could fix. The broken eye socket, there was nothing they could do. As soon as I could get the surgery to get my jaw wired shut and my jaw fixed, my parents took me home. I definitely think that there's parts of me that wanted to retreat away. Right after this attack happened, I just wanted to lay in bed and not get out of bed again. But, you know, there's always something that's pulled me out of that. My sister was my rock throughout this entire process, and she maybe didn't even realize how much she was helping me by what she was doing.
We received a lot of phone calls and a lot of tips, and we followed up on a lot of people who thought they had seen this person. We were able to establish that we had DNA sample of the suspect from the rape. The sketch was the best thing we had, and the DNA evidence, of course. And then we also entered it into the national database for violent offenders in the hopes that maybe someday down the road there would be some similarities to other cases that I could become aware of to try to track this fellow down.
In December of 1998, a doctor was murdered in the Houston area. She had suffered both stab wounds and blunt trauma to the head, and she was also the victim of a sexual assault. And then pastor and his wife were killed in Weimar. And the pastor and his wife were murdered in their bed with a sledgehammer that was found in a tool room there at the house. When we first started working it, we approached it from the standpoint of a fugitive investigation, and that was trying to learn as much as we could about the subject at hand. We knew that we had forensic evidence, we had fingerprint evidence that linked to a particular suspect, and both houses were in the near vicinity of railroad tracks.
Somewhere around May or June of 1999, I got a call from FICAP, which was the national database that we put the info in. Got a call from them saying, listen, we've had another homicide near railroad tracks in Texas. It's a loose connection at best, but it was near railroad tracks. And after 2 years, we hadn't had anything of substance anyway, so we chased any lead.
Detective Sorrell called, and we compared details about the cases, and realized that we not only had a serial killer that was within a 150-mile radius of Houston, but we had one that was in other states as well.
They were able, through fingerprint analysis, to have a suspect. The suspect at that point had been identified as Rafael Resendez Ramirez.
The majority of his attacks were by surprise. Often the people were in bed asleep when he was getting them. So he's like the boogeyman coming into your house. He supports the fact that true evil does exist in this world.
To know that he was doing it again, that he was more violent, that he was killing more people, I started to feel like, wow, this is a lot bigger than me. It was almost like my worst nightmare coming true.
That was when it became a national serial killer manhunt. We were driven. We had to catch him before he killed somebody else.
We're NCIS.
You guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide?
Can we get to the body, please?
Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy, passionate. This is a great team for what? We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, two things. Pretty sure it's three.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be. That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Yeah. No, stop! Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal! Oh! He's in a wheelchair! What do you want? Come on, stop the car! That's a kid! Kid!
Did I pass?
Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness.
Innovative.
Magical.
It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
God, you do your research. I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming to CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying. We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
We knew then we had a serial killer on the loose. We knew that he was extremely violent, and we had no information as to where he was. Our last clue was Texas. So it was an all-out race then to try to figure out where he was and get hands on him. So everybody went to Texas. From what I've come to learn of Resendez, he was an immigrant, transient. He'd done a lot of odd jobs, migrant work. He was prone to violence at least 20 years prior to this killing spree.
He was nicknamed by the media as the railroad killer, and he got that moniker just by the fact that most of his murders happened in and around railroad tracks, and that was a mode of transportation that he used to travel across the country.
The dragnet for the suspected rail-riding serial killer now stretches from Ohio to the Mexican border.
As part of the search, there was actually a huge operation set up to stop trains. A bunch of Texas agencies participated, had helicopters in the air to fly over various train tracks. If they saw somebody, we'd get the train stopped and identify anybody on it.
The sense of urgency was unbelievable because people were dying. He was continuing to kill, and he was killing effortlessly. No one was stopping him. He killed 2 women in one day, 90 miles apart. 4 days later, he's in a different state. People were scared.
We are here today to announce that Rafael Resendez Ramirez has been elevated to the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Ramirez is the 457th person to be placed on...
I just got really scared because it got so big and they still couldn't find him. They didn't know where he was, and that was, you know, a very scary time because I knew that he knew I was still alive. I felt that. So I was afraid. I thought he would come back and get me. I was so scared that I had to get out of the country. I signed up that day to go to school in England.
The FBI, all the local agencies.
There is evidence.
Everybody was running leads, so the volume was huge, and you just started piecing the things together. But truthfully, the tip that made the case was a call from a family relative to America's Most Wanted.
Tonight, we've got breaking news on a suspected serial killer. This is the man police have been looking for.
This is a picture of him from 1995.
Based on information from that phone call, it led us to go to New Mexico to speak with his sister. She hadn't been in touch with her brother, but she had been in touch with someone that was in touch with her brother, and that's where we started the discussions about Resendez and the fact that he was tired and that he might be willing to surrender.
She became the liaison between United States law enforcement and the serial killer.
I believe that his options were limited. This man had no friends. I mean, he was a loner. He had a high price on his head, and he had an entire nation, really 2 nations, looking for him. And I think the amount of pressure that was put on him ultimately led to him to have to make a choice.
It was early in the morning, and Drew was on one side of the International Bridge waiting, on the Texas side, and not knowing, I assume, whether he was going to show up or not, if he was going to show up armed. Who knew?
And so then, the doubt sets in, like, all right, is this going to happen? Amount of time passed, and you see a pickup truck driving across the bridge, and there's 3 people in that old pickup truck, and the center passenger I immediately recognized as Resendez. And that's kind of when I thought to myself, man, this is really going to happen.
I closed my door and started crying because I was so relieved there wasn't, I don't want another case to prove up. I don't want another dead body. It was such a sense of relief.
At the time of his arrest, Resendez was linked to 6 murders in Texas, 2 in Illinois, and 1 in Kentucky.
For 2 years, we had operated under the belief that his name was Rafael Resendez Ramirez. We learned that he had a variety of names, but ultimately it was determined his name was Angel Maturino Resendez.
I had been waiting to see this guy. So when they walked him in, it was a great moment, but he was so scary. He was a little guy, but wiry and strong, ropey muscles on his arms, and curious. He'd look at everybody in there, he'd looked at me, and there's nothing there. There was nothing there. No humanity, no emotion. It's like somebody took a black magic marker and colored his eyes. They were flat black and an expressionless face.
On December 17, 1998, in Harris County, Texas.
But I just buckled down and just decided this is gonna be, it's gotta be about the victims. And it's gotta be about getting this guy dead, honestly. It's gotta be about convincing a jury to give him the death penalty because he so richly deserved it and earned it. I knew that I was going to testify, and I always wanted to testify. I just wanted the chance to tell what had happened to us, and that was my chance.
And I wish I could have seen his face when he heard that someone was living. I wish I could have seen his face when he knew she was coming to testify against him. I just would love to know what he thought when he found that out.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 hours. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
I can see clearly now.
My morning routine.
The first thing I do when I wake up is turn off the alarm.
I try to remember where I put my phone down.
One alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
I need not 1, not 2, but...
And I'm out the door at 4:15.
3 snoozes to get out of bed fully coherent.
How much detail are you looking for?
I love a bath full of bubbles. The more bubbles, the better.
I'm very quick with the actual coffee, shave, shower, dressed out the door, but all around that is just pure chaos.
For example, this morning, these are dirty socks. You want my honest answer? Am I a morning person? I gotta be honest. I wish morning started at like 10 a.m. Can I say that? Clearly.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
What happens when we follow the human side of the headline?
I was in tears.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I said it to myself that I can't make this about me.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
I don't have things that I think about all the time. I can't forget about Chris being hit, the rock hitting him. That really is probably the part that I try the hardest and can't forget.
She was definitely our star witness. She was our only living witness. Nobody else could speak out against him in first person. This is what happened to me. This is what he did to me. We didn't have anybody else.
I can't comment.
Well, if what we know about him is true, he is everyone's worst nightmare. Trial started in May of 2000. It was held here in Houston. He was so different at trial. I guess sitting in jail, he got fat, he got the jailhouse pallor, it grew his hair greasy. There was not a shred of humanity about this man. He did not deserve to live among us. I wanted to put him down.
Resendez faces capital murder charges in the stabbing death of Dr. Claudia Benton.
She had been sexually assaulted, stabbed, beaten in the head. He was only charged with one because that's all you need to get the death penalty. He ultimately pled not guilty by reason of insanity. The evidence was overwhelming as to his guilt, so that was really his only out, was the insanity defense. We knew we were battling with the jury not wanting to believe that someone could do these horrible things to people and be sane. A lot of people did not want to believe you have to be crazy to do that to somebody. You'd have to be crazy. The jury reached a verdict after many hours of deliberation.
Mr. Resendez, would you please rise?
It was pretty nail-biting.
We, the jury, find the defendant Angel Maturino Resendez guilty of capital murder as charged in the indictment.
I actually got involved during the penalty phase of the trial. That's, when they say whether he gets the death penalty or life in prison.
We're going to tell you about the people. The people who've been murdered, most of whom murdered in their own homes. I knew that I wanted Holly to testify last, so by the time she took the stand, the jury had heard the gruesome details of all the other murders that we had solved at that point. It was a horror show. Heads beaten to a pulp, knives put all the way through the body. That's how much force was used. Just horrific violence.
We were the last of the cases presented. I testified as to the evidence at the scene, presented the pictures, and then lastly, Holly testified as the only surviving victim.
I flew into Houston with my family the night before I was going to testify, and I woke up during the middle of the night screaming and crying. I talk about the trial as the hardest day of my life. What I was most worried about, I think, when I testified was seeing him again. I cannot imagine the amount of courage she had to marshal to come into that courtroom, to walk in and face him. She told me, don't look at him. Look at me, I'll be right in front of you. Look at your family, they'll be right behind me. He'll be off to your left, just do not look at him. The first question was, what'd you do last weekend? And so I was like, I graduated from college. It felt good for me to be able to say, I graduated from college in front of the guy who basically could have ruined my life and destroyed it. And not that he cared, because I don't think he did. For me to be able to say, you didn't destroy me. I'm still here, I'm still strong, I'm still the same person I was. It felt good. It felt, like I finally had my chance. I told all the details of what I knew, what I remembered, and cried through the entire testimony. I was crying, all the jury was crying.
Sometimes you don't always have the human picture. There's no victim to stand in front of you to tell you what they experienced, what they went through. Holly gave that to Chris and all the others that had been murdered. She was able to give a real live person to give them a real feeling of the brutality of this man.
They got to the moment in the trial when they say, is the person who attacked you in the courtroom today? I hadn't looked at him yet. I knew he was there. I said yes.
I wanted it to be the last thing that jury heard, and the last thing they saw was Holly Dunn sitting on that witness stand saying, that's the man.
They said, well, could you tell us what he's wearing? And I turned and looked at him. It was surreal. I said, he's wearing a white button-down shirt. I felt my hearing going into my head. He had like this smug look on his face, and I was so close to fainting when I looked at him again that, I don't know how I didn't.
It was devastating, and it was the best part of our case. She basically, from his perspective, came back from the grave to nail him. Should we give him some points because Holly didn't die? The jury did find that he was a future danger to society, so the judge sentenced him to death.
I felt, I guess, relieved. I mean, it just felt good to know he would never be able to hurt anyone ever again.
After the trial, Resendez was sent to death row in Huntsville, Texas. He was not tried for any other crimes. He had gotten the ultimate penalty. When the last appeal was denied, he was put to death in June 2006.
I chose not to attend the execution. Resendez represented all those angry feelings that I had, and I decided to stay with my family. I had already seen one person die in front of me, and I did not need to see another.
I read an account of the execution, and it said that right before they injected him, his feet were shaking under the sheet. And I hoped that he experienced some of the fear, just that Holly did. That gave me a small sense of satisfaction that he was scared.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you.
Clearly delish.
So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise. Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush.
What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I used sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights. And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. The clock, it's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
I definitely feel like I have another opportunity at life. I want to live it to the fullest. I can't explain how this changes you. I am a stronger person because of it. My whole life focus changed because of it. I'm a different person today because this happened. I knew that I had to heal physically first, and then I had to deal with Chris dying. I had to deal with myself almost dying. And then I had to deal with being raped. Your brain works in amazing ways, and it kind of sort of let me deal with each thing as I could. In 1997, I met Jacob Pendleton at the outdoor store that I was working at. He was the first guy that I dated after the attack. He just, like, reintroduced me to the world. I don't think Jacob even knows, like, how much he helped me. There'd be days that I would literally cry to him, and he would just listen to me and, you know, really wouldn't judge me at all, which was great.
To see Holly happy, married, it is wonderful. She has led our family in how we have recovered from this. It could have gone a completely different way where our family was devastated by this. And instead, you know, we are just so happy for how she has led her life.
Please welcome Holly Dunn Pendleton.
It was August 28th, 1997. It's the second day of classes at the University of Kentucky. I started speaking about 2 years after the attack. He said, "Look how easily I could kill you." And then he raped me. To me, it felt like part of my healing process to talk about it and to cry about it and to be emotional, because for so long I had to kind of detach emotion from it. The way that I went on with my life was I had to forgive him and look for the good that could come from this. When I was speaking, I didn't have to worry about that. I could work through my emotions, and that really helped me in my healing process. Being a survivor is one thing, but helping other survivors and knowing how to do that in a professional manner was another thing. Holly's House is a child and adult advocacy center in Evansville, Indiana, that provides a safe reporting location for victims of intimate crimes. We opened on September 2nd of 2008, and we have served over 300 victims since that time. How are things?
They've been pretty steady.
Holly is a hero because she did not let what happened to her destroy her. She decided to make it her reason to live, or her reason to help people.
How are you? Fine. It's important to me for victims to be supported, for them to know that they're not going through what has happened to them alone. I get support through victims that come through Holly's House. I feel like through helping others, they're helping me. We sort of do it together.
This case for me has become one that I have looked back on many times. I keep a little bit of a reminder on my desk, a rock from our crime scene and a railroad spike that I got from down in Texas. Not so much as a reminder of the largest case at work, but more a reminder that if you stick with a case and follow up on everything, that you can be successful. So be determined, don't give up. I've stayed in touch with Holly since it began. She's really just an amazing person individually. She is the model of survivor.
I remember Chris in a lot of ways. I like to keep things around me that remind me of him. I'm lucky enough to have my amazing husband and have Chris be a part of our lives. I think to get over my survivor's guilt that I had to know that I lived my life not just for me and not just for Chris. I'm living my life for all of Resendez's victims, for all of them. And that I have to, or I want to, be the best person I can be and live the best life I can because they didn't get that chance, and I did. So I want to live for them. I want them to be remembered. I want them to, and what I would want them to be proud of, you know, me.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you.
Clearly delish.
So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's going.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush.
What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm gonna use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I used sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights. And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. The clock, it's ticking.
Off we go. 60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
Have you heard?
We're on the move.
Join CBS Mornings in our new studio.
Let's roll, baby!
Don't miss the bus like we did.
Wow.
It's time
Shut up.
for a new season of
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
60 minutes.
Sunday, September 28th on CBS.
How about that?
Brian Brimminger was a typical Marine, that kind of an all-American kind of persona. He was assigned to a color guard in Washington, D.C. There's pictures of him in the White House with President George W. Bush. From the outside looking in, it seemed like Brian Brimminger had everything going for him. In 2011, after having served 7 years in the Marine Corps, Brian Brimminger leaves the Marines. He decides to go to Panama. And his plan is to decompress, take some time off.
My sister was deeply in love with the man named Brian Brimminger. All she wanted was to be with him and love him.
They were so madly in love. I think she was very proud of him because he was a Marine.
She used to say things like, "I'm with a Marine." Yvonne went down to Panama with Brian to start a new life. That's where Yvonne wanted to be. It was perfect. I am Michelle Valenzuela, and my sister is Yvonne Baldelli. She likes to karaoke. She likes to dance.
Did Yvonne like it here?
She love it here. Just love it here. Places with cheap beers and happy hour. It's beautiful. She's got the water right in front of her house.
Where are we right now?
Okay, we're on Isla Carenero in Bocas del Toro. This is the house that they were renting in, Brian Brimminger and Yvonne Baldelli. Yvonne told her family members that everything was good. She painted a very happy picture. Through email, she made it seem like everything was fine and well. The reality of it was that her and Brimminger were fighting constantly.
After I'd heard stories of the fights, I could understand why she would want to leave.
She fell off the radar screen. She just went away one day. Her emails stopped, her communication stopped. Everybody lost contact with her. There's no immigration records that indicates that she left Panama.
There's no book for this. There's no book for dummies on what to do when your sister has gone missing.
Carenero from the outside appears to be a tropical paradise, but it's a swampy hell.
I call it Devil's Island because some terrible things took place on that island.
Brian Brimminger has done nothing, zero, to help with the search for Yvonne.
We are in Central America, in some jungle, in some swamp, looking for Yvonne.
That through the middle is really deep.
This is unbelievable.
What no one knew is that Brian Brimminger had a secret. He was living a double life.
Brian Brimminger moved to California, hooked up with Kristen Werkhoven, and they got married. Kristen worked at the White House, and that's where she and Brian met.
And his life is going on like normal, and her life will never be the same.
What did you do to her, Brian?
We knew that there had been foul play. We knew he was the last one to see her alive.
Brian's coming out with his golf clubs. Let's go, guys.
And this is what I know.
Okay, you rolling? Let's go.
My sister went down to Panama with Brian. Brian returned and my sister didn't.
Brian Brimminger was exceptionally arrogant. But what he didn't account for was this family's fervor to find what happened to their daughter and their sister.
Brian, Peter Van Sant with CBS News. We'd like to ask a couple questions.
It's an easy thing to tell the truth. He told a lot of lies. That's what led to his demise.
I'm Peter Van Sant. Tonight on 48 Hours, Devil's Island.
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Are you hungry? Shout you a crock burger.
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the troubled case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise. Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come in.
Okay.
Tracker. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
In the spring of 2012, Brian Breminger was living the high life in Southern California. Just months removed from a decorated Marine Corps career, Breminger was happily married and living in the suburbs.
When I look at the pictures of Brian and Kristen, I just see a couple in love and super sincerely happy and just enjoying the day at the beach in La Jolla.
These joyful newlywed photos of Brian and Kristen Breminger were a shock to Yvonne Baldelli's family. They expected her to be in the picture.
It wasn't their wedding day, but they came in their wedding attire, in a limousine and champagne flowing.
Photographer Jack English had no idea of the intrigue behind these happy images, that Brian had proposed to Kristen just days after Yvonne disappeared in Panama.
She looked very happy, very in love, as if she found her Prince Charming.
Prince Charming? A man who had just left Yvonne Baldelli in Panama 2 weeks earlier? How could this happen? We traveled to the remote islands off the Caribbean coast of Panama to find out. Up ahead is the island of Caranero, where Yvonne and Brian, who the locals called Brim, came to live in September 2011. It's a place where they could chase their dream.
Why did they decide to go to Panama?
She liked the fact that they could live on the beach, you know, pretty reasonably priced down there.
Yvonne's sister, Michelle Valenzuela, says Brian wanted to become a singer, performing in bars and clubs. With her beloved dog, Georgia May, in hand, Yvonne brought 2 sewing machines in hopes of starting a clothing business. Stepmother, Lillian Faust.
She was going to make bathing suits and sell them to tourists. I knew she was excited, and she didn't have any reservations.
It sounded like she had a real plan for the future.
She did, and she thought that she found her paradise, her perfect place.
Michelle recalls how her younger sister Yvonne, recently divorced, was smitten with Brian when they first started dating in 2009 in Southern California.
I didn't think she was physically attracted to him. That was a big part of it.
And while Yvonne seemed to be falling in love with Brian, big sister Michelle wasn't so sure.
As far as emotionally from my sister, Yvonne would put 100% into you, and she would expect that back. And I didn't get that impression that she was receiving that. That concerned me. She deserved that.
After Yvonne was laid off from her management job with Procter & Gamble and Brian ended his career in the Marines, the two decided to make a fresh start and reinvent themselves in Panama, settling in this house. They quickly fell in with the local expats.
Did you think they were in love? Apparently.
It seems so.
Joan and Stephen Crabtree own the Cosmic Crab, a funky resort and waterfront bar where Brian would sing for his supper.
He played here at the Cosmic Crab a couple of nights a week, and they were frequent visitors here.
They were very nice people.
Penny Tom, owner of another waterfront bar, also let Brian play for food and free booze. Lots of booze.
They used to drink a lot, so they were always happy.
What's a lot?
A lot.
And Jim Mertens says Brian's drinking may have gotten in the way of his singing.
He played the guitar good, but when he started to sing, that's when it went away.
What was it like?
Like a hound dog on a porch.
She looked very happy in the pictures, and she was really enjoying herself there, and I knew it would be a place that she would like.
For Yvonne's father, Jim Faust, the constant stream of joyful phone calls and emails describing the couple's Panama adventures was reassuring.
Yvonne's emails were stories of exactly what her life was like down there, and I could picture it, and I could close my eyes, and it was like I was there. I couldn't imagine the whole thing.
Emails like this one.
She says, "Hi, sis. Brian, already working at local restaurants and bars. We love it. We wake up and go running, then swim in the ocean every morning."
And so Yvonne's family thought all was well in paradise and that Brian might be the one for Yvonne.
I believed that they were going to get married. That's what I thought was going to happen when they got down there.
But then, right around Thanksgiving 2011, 3 months after they arrived in Panama, the happy emails and calls from Yvonne started to drop off. For Michelle, a sisterly instinct started to kick in.
That's what set me off, was the fact that they were becoming less frequent, the emails from her, and then they stopped completely.
2 weeks passed. Then, on December 14th, Michelle finally got a text. But it wasn't from Yvonne.
There was a number I didn't recognize, and a text message on there said, "This is Brian, may I make arrangements to pick up my truck?"
Michelle was shocked. Brian was back in the U.S.?
I sat up, called that number. For only thing out of my mouth was, "Where's my sister?" He says, "Didn't you get my email?" I said, "I haven't received any emails from anybody. It's been a few weeks." I said, "I'll call you back." So I went to my computer.
Michelle discovered an email she had overlooked. It was from Brian, who had never written before.
The one from him stated, "I'm sure you've heard by now that Vonnie and I are no longer together." I called him right back. So I asked him, point blank, what happened? And he said they had got in a fight because she had found out that he had a child from somebody else.
That somebody else, Kristen Workhoven. The two had a baby girl in 2010. Since Yvonne was unable to have a child because of a medical condition, the discovery must have been earth-shattering. Brian then said Yvonne just up and left.
I said, "Did she leave a note?" "No." "Has she tried to call you since?" "No." "Do you know where she's at?" "No." And I said, "I haven't heard from her, Brian." And he said, "Well, I'm sure she's fine."
But Michelle had her doubts about that story. And 10 days later, when Brian called and still wanted to pick up his truck, Michelle said she had another plan.
I said, "When you come to pick up the truck, I'll be here. That's no problem. And I think it's a good idea that you go with me to the police department, since you're the last one to see her, and we can fill out a missing persons report. Because now we're already in mid-December, and I haven't heard anything from her, and that's not right. Something's wrong."
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery.
When your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere.
Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi, plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir, and when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game. When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives? Politics is about policy. So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare? I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun. Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now? To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face to face with the devil.
48 hours reports.
I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 hours, 24/7.
Elspeth! Oh, I thought I saw you. And then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police. I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
In December of 2011, Michelle Valenzuela was still worried about her missing sister. So she went back to her computer, where she found another overlooked message. This one from Yvonne.
Hi, sis, just an update. Brian and I are no longer together. I should have trusted my instincts that he is a lying, cheating ass. I'm headed to Costa Rica with a man I met when we first got to Bocas.
What'd you think when you read this email?
I just wasn't sure. There's some things in there that didn't feel right to me.
Her head was spinning. Could Yvonne really have run off with another man after learning that Brian had a love child?
All Yvonne ever wanted to do was be a mother. That's all she ever wanted to do was be a mother. And to find out that Brian had a child, and she sold everything she had to go to the other ends of the world to be with his man, and he didn't tell her about that. I'm questioning what her mental state is right now. She's heartbroken.
In upstate New York, Jim and Lillian Faust also felt the turn of events was just so out of character for their daughter.
For her life to change so abruptly, and she's like, oh, well, I'm going with this guy, and
To Costa Rica.
that made absolutely, positively no sense to me.
Also making no sense, 3 weeks had passed since Yvonne had emailed from Panama, but then out of the blue, she sent a new email. It was strange.
Miss you and everyone at home. I'm starting to get a little homesick. I'm working on plans to get home as early as the second week of January. I've been living with cliffhangers for a while. Love you, sis, Yvonne.
While strange, the email was also reassuring for her family, who was happy to learn Yvonne would soon return to California.
So I stopped worrying. I figured, okay, she knows that in January we're having a family get-together. She's going to be there.
Do you feel she's safe at this point?
I was still worried, but I was satisfied with it for the moment.
On the same day that email arrived, so too did Brian Brimminger, knocking on the front door of Michelle's LA home to pick up his truck.
What did you see on his face? What was his demeanor like?
He was just in a hurry. He was calm, but it was very brief.
All business.
Yes.
Get his stuff, get his truck.
And leave.
After Brian got his pickup truck, Yvonne's emails stopped. 16 long days passed until on January 6th, 2012, Michelle wrote her sister. The subject, worried.
I just want to make sure you weren't kidnapped or someone pretending to be you. Ha ha. There's my paranoid, suspicious mind, or maybe too many 48 hours.
Did you ever hear back from your sister again?
No, that's the last email.
Michelle was still hopeful that she would appear at that family reunion, but Yvonne never showed up.
Well, at that point, when we met it with my dad and I told him we haven't heard from her, he said, oh no, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I told my dad, she did not leave Panama. That's just my feeling.
By now, Michelle was convinced her sister never ran off to Costa Rica with another man. So her instinct was to learn where Yvonne's emails were really coming from.
So I went to my cousin and asked him to please check it out, because like I said, I haven't got a clue.
The cousin, a technology whiz, said tracking Yvonne's emails would be easy. All he needed was their IP addresses. So he searched the emails Yvonne had supposedly sent from Panama and Costa Rica, as well as that email Brian had sent from near Dana Point, California. The cousin made a startling discovery.
The ones from Panama came from Panama. And then the one that was supposed to be with her being in Costa Rica came from the United States.
Where in the United States?
One of them looked like they were coming from Dana Point.
That email, Michelle says, originated from where Brian was now living near Dana Point, California. It was the evidence Michelle had been looking for.
They were sharing the same IP address.
So Yvonne's email is coming from Brian's computer.
Yes.
The family's worst fear had come true. It appeared Brian had hacked into Yvonne's email account and was impersonating her. But why?
That's when I knew that he did something to her. And
it's not missing person, it's murder now.
It's murder.
I said, my sister's dead and I'm never going to see her again.
But Michelle had no time to mourn. Where she met with Special Agent Andrew Masters.
Michelle Valenzuela, she was a Spitfire. When they brought that to us, we knew that there was absolutely foul play involved.
The FBI immediately launched an investigation into Yvonne's disappearance, with Masters taking charge. Yvonne's family then contacted the State Department.
I call the embassy, and the embassy tells us there is no record of her ever leaving Panama and no record of her ever entering Costa Rica.
Yvonne's family couldn't wait any longer. They traveled to Panama to find answers. The FBI made a move as well, targeting Brian Brimminger as a person of interest.
Brian didn't realize what exactly the FBI is capable of.
We're NCIS. You guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide?
Can we get to the body, please?
Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy, passionate.
This is a great team for what?
We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, two things. Pretty sure it's three.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be. That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready. Ready? Yeah. No, stop!
Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal. Oh, he's in a wheelchair. What do you want? Come on, stop the car. That's a kid. Kid. Give it to me.
Did I pass?
Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness. Innovative.
Magical. It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
God, you do your research.
I tell a good story. Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming to CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying. We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
With the FBI investigation underway in the States, Yvonne's family met up with legendary investigator Don Winner in Panama City.
Why is it when something goes bad with an American citizen in Panama, you get the phone call?
I've already put away, or helped to put away, 3 serial killers. So when bad things happen, they know that to come to me when they don't know what else to do.
Winner is an ex-U.S. intelligence officer with an uncanny ability to solve murders. Jim and Lillian tell Don the story of their daughter's disappearance and Brian's claim that she's run off with another man.
I think the chances that she's running around in Costa Rica somewhere with some other dude are damn near 0. Here's the deal. This is what happened. This is what we think is going on.
It's not the first time Winner, a CBS News consultant, has worked on a case with 48 Hours.
All right, we're going to go take a look at this yellow trimaran.
The intrepid investigator helped solve the murder of American sailor Don North, as 48 Hours reported in 2011.
Just on a personal side in all of this, can you believe you and I are doing this again?
No, absolutely not. I tell you what, it's amazing.
Winner is convinced Brian Breminger is involved. His strategy, put pressure on the Panamanian government to act.
Because when Don Winner speaks,
the people listen, yeah.
Winner's game plan also called for Jim and Michelle to give blood for DNA tests should any remains be found. And when Yvonne's family travels hundreds of miles from Panama City to the tropical island where she disappeared,
Yvonne Lee Valdelli.
The Panamanian police are persuaded to hold a press conference to plead for information.
The family has been experiencing a living nightmare for quite a few months, and we continue to appeal to anyone who knows absolutely anything about Yvonne's disappearance to come forward.
Panamanian police announce for the first time that Yvonne is the victim of foul play and name Brian Breminger as the suspect.
Todos adoramos a Yvonne.
This news conference reverberated around the world.
Police say within weeks of her disappearance, Breminger returned to the U.S., got engaged, and married another woman. Tonight, the FBI is calling him a person of interest.
Riding the momentum of the press conference, they printed flyers, fanned out to neighborhoods and the village, searching for their own clues. It's a bittersweet search for Yvonne's niece, Lauren Byer, in a place that is no longer a paradise.
There's nothing here for us until we find her. That's why we're here.
But the family's quest is starting to get results. Witnesses who knew the couple come out of the woodwork, describing Brian's verbal and physical abuse.
To me, he was a scary person. He was not the kind of person I wanted to be around.
Local bar owner Jeff Salzman saw it firsthand on Yvonne's face.
As I recall, it was black eyes and blackness around the face and bruises.
Was she self-conscious about it?
She was trying to hide it and not speak of it.
It was very painful to learn that he had hit her, that she had bruises, that she had black eyes. Those things were very difficult to learn.
The realization that Yvonne may have been murdered is setting in.
Where could Yvonne's body have been dumped? Well, just feet in front of that house, you've got thousands of square miles of water. While if you just go not 20 yards from the shoreline, this impenetrable swamp. Try to find something in there.
But that's exactly what Yvonne's family, investigators, and volunteers set out to do. Entering what could be Yvonne's swampy graveyard.
Describe this area that has to be searched. Just how difficult a place is it?
Okay, it's jungle, it's tropical, so you have every kind of bug and critter that you can think of, spiders and snakes, and, you know, it's not a place to go slogging around through.
Struggling through the muck, the spiders, and the rancid water, the smallest discovery raises hope. A purse, a medicine bottle, a mysterious sinkhole.
I kept asking myself, I want to find Yvonne, but do I want to find Yvonne? I mean, I want to know where she is, but do I want to see her in these swampy areas?
Then they find a passport.
Yeah, we find a U.S. passport, the front page here.
None of it is Yvonne's. But back in the United States, the FBI confronted Brian Brimmager.
We went and knocked on his door. He answered and invited us in, said that he was expecting us.
FBI Special Agent Andrew Masters questioned Brian Brimmager for more than 4 hours while he babysat his young daughter.
This is Special Agent Andrew Masters along with Special Agent Gabriel Ramirez approaching Apartment M in an attempt to have a consensual monitored interview with Brian Brimmager.
We weren't sure if he was going to break down and confess to having a part in her disappearance and murder, or if he was going to become angry, or if he was going to kick us out.
Brian stuck to his story. Yvonne left him for another man.
I come back home and there was a note that said, and I quote, going to Costa Rica with a man I've been talking to, F you ass.
But when confronted with Michelle's email evidence, Brian began to stumble.
Brian, I'm just going to kind of lay it out there, man. The IP addresses are not coming back from Costa Rica or Panama.
Okay.
They're coming back from here. Okay, so.
Here?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if she's not hanging out around here, then somebody sent those emails, right? How did those emails get sent?
Do you know anybody that would have her email account hacked into her account? No.
Then something caught Masters' eye.
As soon as I walk in, I see a white Sony Vaio.
Which is a computer.
A laptop computer, exactly. And we knew that Yvonne owned a white Sony Vaio laptop that she had taken with her to Panama.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we may very well have Yvonne's computer right here.
Masters' hunch was spot on. It was Yvonne's computer. But why was it in Brian's condo? And would it help unravel the mystery of Yvonne's disappearance?
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 hours. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
I can see clearly now.
My morning routine.
The first thing I do when I wake up is turn off the alarm.
I try to remember where I put my phone down. One alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
I need not 1, not 2, but
And I'm out the door at 4:15.
3 snoozes to get out of bed fully coherent.
How much detail are you looking for?
I love a bath full of bubbles. The more bubbles, the better.
I'm very quick with the actual coffee, shave, shower, dressed out the door, but all around that is just pure chaos. For example, this morning, these are dirty socks.
You want my honest answer? Am I a morning person? I gotta be honest. I wish mornings started at like 10 a.m.
Can I say that? Clearly.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
What happens when we follow the human side of the headline?
I was in tears.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I said it to myself that I can't make this about me.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
Even though he was under the FBI's microscope, Brian Bremiger remained a free man, living with his family on the outskirts of San Diego. Kristen worked for a defense contractor, while Brian, unemployed, spent much of his time golfing.
Recognize that man?
Yes, I do. That's Brian.
In the summer of 2012, we showed Yvonne's sister Michelle video of Brian's new life.
What goes through your mind when you see him?
Well, honestly, it's not surprising now that I know what he's capable of. He thinks he got away with murder. So what you have here is a person who killed my sister and can walk away scot-free.
You ready? Brian's coming out with his golf club. Let's go, guys. Okay, roll.
Just a few months after that FBI interview, we came face to face with the suspected killer.
Brian? Peter Van Sant with CBS News. We'd like to ask a couple questions. Would you please talk to us? Did you murder Yvonne Baldelli? You can speak to us. You can answer that question. Brian, why won't you speak with us? Did you have anything to do with her disappearance?
While Brian heads off to enjoy another carefree day on the greens, the FBI was turning his life upside down, interviewing everyone he knew, including his wife, Kristen.
What had Brian told her about why he was living in Panama?
He told Kristen that he is going down to Panama to decompress from after leaving the Marine Corps, and that he was going with some Marine Corps friends.
Did Kristen urge Brian to leave Yvonne?
No, Kristen didn't even know Yvonne existed.
So he lied to Kristen?
Absolutely.
Apparently, all those lies didn't matter to Kristen.
According to her, Brian is the greatest thing to ever happen to anybody.
But that's something she didn't want to share with us when 48 Hours knocked on her door.
Hi, Kristen. Kristen, I'm Ryan with CBS News. Is there any way we can talk?
Meanwhile, as Special Agent Masters took several investigative trips to Panama, a different portrait of Brian Breminger emerged.
We talked to many people that would socialize with him at bars, and we learned about all the domestic violence that he brought upon her, the choking, the dragging, the berating.
After speaking with friends and neighbors of Yvonne and Brian, Special Agent Masters became certain the couple had a violent fight on November 26, 2011. After Yvonne learned that Brian had fathered a child with Kristen.
The argument probably escalated, and at some point, Brian decided he was done with her and he was going to kill her.
Crucial evidence was also discovered on Yvonne's laptop, the very computer Masters saw when he first questioned Brian. About 2 weeks before her murder, Yvonne took this disturbing selfie.
That photo shows a massive black eye on her left eye and swelling in her left cheek.
In a way, from the grave, Yvonne helped you in this investigation.
Yvonne helped us tell the story, yes. Absolutely.
And there was more chilling evidence.
We found the Yahoo searches in which he searches how to remove blood from a mattress.
When did he do that?
He did that about 10:30 in the morning, the night after Yvonne was murdered.
Masters discovered even more evidence in Costa Rica, where Brian is seen withdrawing cash from Yvonne's account.
We were able to obtain those ATM photos. So we have Brian using Yvonne's debit card to extract money from her account.
And Masters says there is no doubt that Brian used Yvonne's laptop to send those emails to her family. So we went looking for Brian Breminger again to get answers.
Hey, Brian, I need to talk to you. How do you explain the fact that Yvonne's email that said she was in Costa Rica, that she sent to people, was actually sent by you from here in California? Can you answer that? You knew she was dead when you sent that email, didn't you? Brian, we really want you to talk to us. Answer some questions. He's never said a word. Never said a word to us. He will not answer any questions.
And what about Yvonne's dog, Georgia May, which had not been seen since she disappeared? Don Winter has a theory.
He knew that she loved that dog, and that if the dog was running around, he knew that anything she said about her taking off with some guy to Costa Rica, everybody would immediately know it was crap. So he had to get rid of the dog too.
In his investigation, Don Winter unwittingly found a key piece of evidence on Brian's Facebook page, where he had sold this machete.
After Yvonne disappeared, Breminger made a comment about that knife. He's like, yeah, that used to be mine. I brought it down with me when I came down from the States. And the chilling part is he made a comment that said, I've only used it to chop up one stripper. That's just chilling.
Special Agent Andrew Masters needs to get his hands on the machete to see if it was used in Yvonne's murder. Incredibly, he was able to track down the person who bought it from Brian in Panama.
This is the machete that Brian bought in the United States and took down with him to Panama.
Can you pick it up for me?
Sure. It's very heavy, it's weighted, and it would inflict a lot of damage.
Investigators had the machete, they had the email, and they had caught Brian in multiple lies. Soon, someone would stumble upon the most important evidence of all.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you.
Clearly delish.
So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS. I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush. What do you think is driving the spike in popularity?
I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I use sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights. And reach for the stars.
Star power.
I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go.
You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. The clock, it's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
We seek answers, justice, and help.
Summer 2013. Nearly 2 years have passed since Yvonne Baldelli's disappearance.
You can feel like you're reading a book, a terrible mystery or murder mystery, and there's no end to it.
On June 26, 2013, the final chapter of this mystery began to unfold.
A former Marine who family members say murdered his girlfriend before...
FBI Special Agent Andrew Masters slapped the cuffs on Brian Breminger.
What did you say to him?
You're under arrest. He said, turn around, put your hands behind your back. He needed to answer for his crime.
How did you learn that Brian had been arrested?
Truth be told, I received a text from my dad, said they got the SOB. And I sat down in a sense of relief because now they believed us.
Brian Breminger was charged with 13 felonies relating to the cover-up of Yvonne's death, but not murder. Assistant U.S. Attorneys Shane Harrigan and Mark Conover were lead prosecutors.
At that point, without having found the body, we didn't have quite enough to bring the murder charge.
But that would soon change.
Human remains have been found on a Panamanian island.
A local worker clearing some brush on the island where Brian and Yvonne lived came upon this duffel bag.
And when he unbuckled the clasp, he found Yvonne's skeletonized remains. By the time she was found 2 years later, it was only bones.
A DNA test confirmed it was Yvonne. Her remains were found just a few hundred yards from where the family had spent days searching.
I wanted to tell Michelle personally.
When I first heard the possibility that they found Yvonne, my first reaction was, for me, it's good news because I just feel good. We can nail this bastard.
While the family's prayers had been answered, an autopsy confirmed the hellish fact that Yvonne had been dismembered.
This is the actual device that was used to dismember Yvonne.
The most likely cause of death was being stabbed in the back at least twice.
Despite overwhelming evidence and proof that Breminger had repeatedly lied, his wife Kristen continued to stand by him.
Kristen, may I ask, do you still believe in your husband's innocence? Can you just tell us that?
Don't touch the camera.
Then, for Yvonne's family, another cruel tragedy struck in the spring of 2014. Michelle, who had dedicated her life to finding justice for her sister, now faced another deadly enemy. She was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer.
I'm still alive to fight for my life, and I'm still alive to fight for my sister.
This was Michelle in June of 2014. And this was her just 3 months later.
Today, I'm going to be giving a deposition.
Weakened by cancer and given just weeks to live,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm?
Michelle, a crucial witness, agreed to tell her story while she still could. Brian Breminger would sit directly across from her.
I'm going to try to ignore him as best I can.
And who is Brian Breminger?
The defendant.
Do you see him in the courtroom here today?
Yes, I do.
Would you please point to him and describe where he is seated for the record?
He's sitting at the end, khaki outfit, at the end.
Michelle passed out after the exhausting testimony. It was a courageous act of love for her sister.
This might be the last thing I get to do for her. Over and over and over again, because it'll be on camera forever.
Days later, she died. It took years of diplomatic and legal wrangling, but in early 2015, the government of Panama finally agreed to let Brian be tried for murder on American soil.
We came to the conclusion that the only way that Brian Breminger would face justice for his murderous act is if he was charged and convicted here in the United States.
Brian pleaded not guilty. The case was heading for trial in 2016 when investigators made another dramatic discovery. Yvonne's blood and DNA were found under the machete's handle.
So these 3 screws were undone. Mm-hmm. The handle opens up, and inside they find blood.
Right, they removed these 3 and just pulled it out here and conducted the testing on the blade and the inferior portion of the handle and found blood.
Whose blood?
Yvonne's.
Yvonne Baldelli's.
Yvonne Baldelli.
This now is a slam dunk. You know that this is the tool used to dismember her.
It was that made Brian finally realize he was not going to get out of he was not going to lie his way out.
It's over.
It's done.
He had cleaned the blade, but he hadn't cleaned underneath the handle. And it was that additional evidence that I believe eventually led Mr. Breminger to plead guilty.
Within a week, Breminger pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, while the other charges were dropped. And later at his sentencing, finally admitted, after nearly 5 years of lies, to killing Yvonne Baldelli.
And I think if you look up on the dictionary evil and you see Brian's picture in there, he's the ultimate incarnate of evil in my mind.
In open court, Breminger apologized to Yvonne's family, but his words rang hollow.
Brian Breminger is a con artist. He had our daughter conned. He had his new wife conned. He had her family conned. He was able to live a double life, sometimes a triple life, and people buy what he says. But his actions show that he's not the person he says that he is.
Brian was sentenced to 26 years in federal prison. With the case over, Yvonne's remains were returned to her family. And laid to rest at sea.
To get her remains back and be able to give her a dignified resting place, I can sleep better at night knowing that she's not rotting in some jungle or deep in the ocean somewhere, knowing that she loved the ocean, knowing that we were able to put her in a place that she loved.
We brought her home, and I know that that was thanks to a lot of work of a lot of unsung heroes. I know.
In a way, two people were honored this day, Yvonne and her beloved sister Michelle, who battled a Marine to the end and won.
She's definitely a hero. She never gave up. To her dying day, she gave all she had.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
Anyone that doesn't agree women should be in the submarine force has to ask themselves why they would think about that.
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I say it to myself that I can't make this about me.
When we put people before politics.
What would happen if it was harder for Mexican residents to come over to work in Presidio?
I think we'd be in serious trouble.
Are you okay, ma'am?
What happens when you experience the story?
I'm shocked at how devastated this neighborhood is. How bad is it in your house?
Look at it.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
Here in Chicago.
Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
Ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
And 1, 2, 3. Hey!
I can see clearly now.
Look at his outfit. Amazing. Give me some love, baby. We got a toy. Look at this. Oh, no! Time for another quick meal you can make any night of the week. We've got tips to save on clothes, tech, and more.
How I got here is nothing short of like a miracle.
Talent.
Talent.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. See you
on CBS Mornings.
Here comes a big one.
What I've seen, it's like chaos.
This is the pager that Hezbollah was using.
How was this possible?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Whoa.
Wow.
Ask me the hard-hitting questions. I'm open to all of it.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for the CBS News original, 60 Minutes. Sundays on CBS.
Have you heard?
We're on the move. Join CBS Mornings in our new studio.
Same time, same place, brand new studio. CBS Mornings.
Wow.
It's time
Shut up.
for a new season of
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
60 minutes.
Sunday, September 28th on CBS.
Real people, real crimes, real life drama.
911, what are you reporting?
I think somebody's just been shot in my neighborhood. And I can hear somebody screaming through the door.
When Skylar and Danielle met, it was something that you read in the fairy books. It was instantaneous.
We heard the bang, and then we heard noise in our neighbor's apartment.
Skylar and Danielle loved each other. They were gushy in love.
We're not sure what this is alive.
I think she really believed that they really had this into the movie fade to black type dreamy love.
There was like nothing that could keep them apart. Skylar joined the Army.
I'm so excited.
Danielle was a junior in high school. You couldn't think of a perfect cheerleader. Bubbly.
Thank you. Ooh.
Outgoing.
Today, pretty.
La da 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 da. That was Danielle. Danielle had it in her mind that she was gonna marry Skylar, and wherever he went, she went. He graduated from boot camp and they got married. Danielle was lonely. She was away from her friends, everything she knew. She loved Skylar, but she just said he's gone all the time. And he was. Skylar had been gone for 20 days out in the field training. When Skylar got home, he was so excited to see Danielle.
Is she breathing at all? No.
They love to go shoot their guns.
Shoot that can.
Danielle said it gave her power. Skylar bought her own rifle. She decorated it out.
The husband has said that she's dead, and he doesn't want me going in to see her.
My son picked up a loaded gun.
Oh my God.
He looked at it with the naked eye, did not see any ammunition in it.
I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person.
It went off. Shot Danielle in the back of the head.
I love my wife so much.
This was an accident.
I'm innocent. I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
He is seeing this as an accident. His family sees it as an accident. We believe he murdered his wife.
Did you intentionally kill your wife, Skylar?
No, I did not.
I never meant to hurt you. I love you so much, Danielle. My wife!
What happens when reporters take you inside the story?
I've been asking for over a year and a half for access into this place, and this is the first time we're getting it.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
This is NCIS. You put on that uniform, you agree to protect the person next to you, no matter what. Welcome to Australia.
Match made in heaven.
Watch out! Hey, hungry? Shout you a crock burger.
NCIS Sydney. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus. Returns CBS Full.
I'm Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours, and of all the cases I've covered, this is the one that troubles me most. Listen to Murder in the Orange Grove, the troubled case against Crosley Green, wherever you get your podcasts.
Be in the know, even when you're on the go, with the CBS Mornings podcast.
Some news you can use at the grocery store.
Better mornings start better days.
When you look good, feel good, you do good.
That's right.
Listen to CBS Mornings on the go on Apple Podcasts.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise.
Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
I can only describe it as evil.
Follow and listen to Train to Kill, The Dog Trainer, The Heiress, and The Bodyguard on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
My job can get dangerous sometimes, but I'm very good at what I do. I know you're scared. I'm here to help.
They said you were the best.
Your daughter hired me to bring you home. I made her promise I would never stop looking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You hear about the reward?
Come in. Okay.
Tracker, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
It's a matter of State of Washington versus Skylar Nemitz, who is present in court.
A year and a half after shooting his 19-year-old wife, Danielle, 21-year-old Skylar Nemitz is on trial in Tacoma, Washington, charged with murder in the first degree.
He stood about 5 feet away from Danielle. He had his finger on the trigger, and he pulled it.
I feel like my heart was ripped out of my chest and all the veins, too, with it the day that my wife died.
But you caused it.
I know. That's the most painful thing of all this, is knowing that I caused it.
Skylar Nemitz shot his wife. No one disputes that. The only question is why. Did he pull the trigger in a jealous rage? Or was it just an accident? And will you reach the same conclusion the jurors did? Skylar and Danielle were the picture of a happy couple. No one who knew them could have imagined the tragic events that unfolded on October 16, 2014. Skylar's mother, Danette Heller.
None of it made sense to me.
Danette calls her middle child a gentle and kind soul.
Very loving, caring, sensitive.
Who was and still is very much in love with Danielle.
She was so bubbly and fantastic. She was great.
Danielle was his everything. There was no issues in their relationship.
Except for the times they were forced to be apart. In the fall of 2014, Skylar, an infantry soldier, had been on deployment in eastern Washington for nearly 3 weeks of battlefield training. After living in a striker vehicle with 3 guys, Skylar couldn't wait to get home to Danielle.
Danielle had called me that morning and she had bathed the dogs. She said she went and got candles. She was just so excited.
On the afternoon of October 16th, Danielle was waiting at the Army base to drive Skylar home to their small 2-bedroom apartment. They ordered pizza to celebrate.
I had a shot of Sailor Jerry's and a glass of Fireball with Red Bull.
Were you drunk?
I don't think I was drunk, but I would say I was buzzed and tired, but also in a great mood.
But less than 3 hours later, everything suddenly went wrong.
Why me? I love my wife so much. Why me?
Hey, sir, were you notified you're being audio and visually recorded?
That's fine. I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
This is Skylar minutes after he was taken into custody.
I've never been in trouble before. I've never hurt anybody.
For the next 7.5 hours.
Detective George, you want to come talk to me?
Yeah, I want to.
All right, Skylar, we're recording right now, okay?
Everything he said.
And this is the shit that happens to me.
And everything he did was recorded.
What's it like in jail?
By video cameras. The details of what led up to the shooting are sketchy. But according to Skylar, when he got home, Danielle's rifle was in their bedroom closet. He had given her the AR-15 assault rifle for her birthday.
And she knew how to handle that rifle, load the rifle, discharge it, clean it.
It was something Skylar and Danielle loved to do. Skylar grew up with guns, firing his first weapon when he was just a kid.
The rules in my home, when I had my children, your guns stay in your safe and always unloaded.
And Skylar says those were the rules in his home as well.
I'm always so big about gun safety. Always so big about gun safety. I'm the my friends because I'm so big about it. And then I'm the guy that it happens to.
Sometime before 6 p.m., Skylar says Danielle brought the rifle into the small second bedroom and asked him to put it away. Danielle's computer was also in that room. When she sat down to finish some work, her back was to Skylar.
Last thing I told her, I said, "You're a very cute girl."
Skylar, believing the rifle was unloaded, he says, picked it up and was checking to make sure when the gun went off.
Danielle, how does this happen to people? Who the does this happen to? How the what the Danielle!
Skylar insists he never saw the single bullet that was in the chamber of the rifle. That bullet went through the back of Danielle's head and into the computer screen. Danielle died instantly.
My wife is dead. My wife. Just kill me. Just kill me. My wife. My love.
He said, please let me die. Please let me die.
Danette says her son has been suicidal ever since.
I am not positive that Skylar won't take his own life still.
But Danette refuses to give up on her son. For the past year and a half, the divorced mother of 3 has been in a desperate battle for her son's future.
Hi.
A struggle she has documented for 48 hours in these video diaries.
Just know that I have to fight for what I have in front of me, and that's my son.
My mom has sacrificed everything she's had for me.
Danette spent what she had and borrowed even more to get Skylar released on bail and to assemble a top-notch legal team.
The reality is, I have spent every cent I have on this case.
Danette has uprooted her life, putting everything she owns into storage.
I'm Skylar's brother.
Leaving her teenage son, Aaron, with friends in Utah and moving to Tacoma to be with Skylar.
She went from living in a multi-million-dollar home to living in a spare bedroom.
Danette and Skylar are staying with friends while he's under house arrest. Skylar wears an ankle monitor. And mother and son
This is it. This is the Taj Mahal.
and have learned to live in very close quarters.
Skylar and I share a room.
It's been tough on both of them.
Just really lonely and scared.
And the uncertainty of what the future holds for Skylar is always on Danette's mind.
I know I try to put up a good front. I have everything in control, but I don't. It's been really hard. I guess just hard on not knowing what's going to happen.
What mother wouldn't reach to the ends of the earth to try to believe that it was an accident and try to convince themselves that their son's not a murderer?
But James Peltier says Danette is wrong.
Do you believe Danette is deluding herself?
I think she's delusional, is what I think she is.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
I'm not asking that we ignore disability, rather that we do not ignore ability.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight. It's the most popular F word in Washington, fraud.
Is it true that the Social Security number of just about every single American is available for sale on the dark web?
An eye-opening 60 Minutes report.
That's chilling.
It's time for 60 Minutes.
Your life is still a mystery. When
your gut tells you something fishy's going on, there's almost always a 4-day-old carp lying around somewhere.
Finishing this is the only thing that's important to me. Either way, the truth is coming out.
Heading home? Who the hell are you, Madeline Matlock?
Matlock. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Sunday morning, we hail a driverless taxi. Plus billionaire Barry Diller's revealing new memoir. And when trash becomes art, this Sunday morning.
Politics isn't a game. When do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives? Politics is about policy. So you would encourage Democrats to work with Donald Trump on an issue like healthcare? I'm a voracious consumer of information, and I'm impatient. I don't like to be spun. Do you know if there are active terror cells in the United States right now? To be moderator of Face the Nation means bringing the most powerful stakeholders to the table to become better informed.
It was almost like being face-to-face with the devil.
48 hours reports. I fought and fought.
911, what is your emergency?
She disappeared off the face of the earth.
Stream 48 hours, 24/7.
Elspeth! Oh, I thought I saw you. And then I thought, well, who else could it be? Dressed as a member of the Lollipop Guild.
I work with the police. I like my outlandish theories with a heavy dose of evidence. Nice alibi, by the way.
Can you be careful with that?
Whoever did this is still out there. And I do love a mystery.
Elsbeth. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
Let's jump on into it.
Danielle was the happiest girl you could ever meet.
A little spark, just full of energy.
She'd just leap up and give you hugs daily, if not multiple times a day. You just could not fall in love with this little girl, just being around her for one day.
Before Danielle became Mrs. Skylar Nemitz, she was a beloved high school student who adored everything about life, her friends, her family, and her two favorite high school pastimes, makeup.
This is my makeup collection video.
And cheerleading.
She just shined out there. She was beautiful to watch, super energetic.
Coach Aaron Mikolai immediately cast 5', 100-pound Danielle as the flyer, the lucky one who gets tossed around in the air, a role she was born to play.
And did she like being the center of attention?
Loved it. Center of attention was where she belonged, for sure.
It was attention Danielle wasn't really able to get at home. Her mom died of cancer when she was just a toddler. And so Danielle and her 3 siblings live with their grandmother in McKinleyville, California. Money was tight, and then when Danielle was 14, her grandmother died too. The kids then moved in with their stepfather.
She was the type of girl that it's like you knew she had a hard home life, but you would never know it at the same time. She just didn't dwell in it.
Danielle and best friend Michaela Yingling formed a special bond after both losing their mothers at about the same time.
She was always happy. Like, I didn't know where she got it from.
But deep down, she longed for what she was missing, says Coach Mikolai, and she went looking for it in boys.
Every boyfriend was the one she was going to marry. She always got very close with the families of the boyfriends that she had because they always were the most stable part of her life. But it was just that need to be loved and for that nurturing and that attention. And relationships would end, and the next one would start.
In her junior year, Danielle found that next one on Facebook, a recent graduate from a neighboring high school who was about to join the Army, Skylar Nemitz.
I remember I fell in love with her just like that. I was head over heels like immediately.
When Skylar and Danielle met, I had never seen the sparkle in his eye that he had with being with Danielle and the love he had for her.
Danielle shocked everyone when just a month after meeting Skylar, she moved in with him at his mother Danette's home.
I felt sorry for her upbringing. I loved spoiling her, you know, because she had never been spoiled. But she was an absolute doll, and I loved being able to help her.
My mom saw Danielle as a daughter.
I was crazy about her. She called me mom.
After knowing each other for only 3 months, Skylar bought a diamond ring and proposed to her on the top of Neelan Mountain.
That was a relationship that moved very quickly.
But yeah, sometimes I would sit there and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm 18 and I'm getting married. But the thing is though, I loved her so much and she loved me so much, and we didn't want to wait. We wanted to get married.
Erin, what was your reaction?
It wasn't positive. I felt like I needed to be the person to shake her and say, slow down, there's no rush. But she's the type of person, she was just so strong-willed that there was never gonna be any convincing her, and there just wasn't an adult in her life that could put a stop to it.
Danielle dropped out of high school and married Skylar at the courthouse the day he graduated boot camp, 5 months after their first date.
It was about 10 minutes long. He wore his uniform, and he was so happy. When she was with Skylar, she was just so grateful. And she'd always tell me how much she loved being married. She loved being Skylar's wife.
They settled into off-base housing in Lakewood, Washington, where he was stationed at Fort Lewis.
What was it that drew her to him?
I think she just really wanted to get a fresh start and try to make a family of her own and to be happy.
I think it was following a dream is what I think it was. Something bigger than right here, you know.
Former neighbor James Peltier became almost a father to Danielle.
We took him to the movies, out to dinner. I mean, we went to church. We would go camping.
Both James and Michaela were concerned that Danielle was pinning her hopes on a guy she had known for less than 6 months.
He took her away and they moved away so quick, like nobody really got to know him.
A guy who seemed to have no interest in knowing them.
He just, ignored us.
I met him on 3 occasions.
Even the few times Danielle and Skylar dropped by for a visit.
Danielle was her bubbly self.
Peltier says Skylar wanted no part of the conversation.
I think I shook his hand, and back to the car he went, and he left.
He says he let it go until he learned something he couldn't ignore. Danielle told him Skylar had smashed her cell phone in a fit of anger and then immediately rushed out to buy her a new iPhone.
I sat her face to face and I said, I just need to know if there's any big problem, because all you have to do is tell me you don't want to be with him anymore. And I said, I can guarantee you the boy won't even come through that door. And she's like, no, I love him, I forgive him.
Danielle enrolled in a local high school to finish her senior year, got a new puppy, and a new job at a granite counter company. But Michaela, who FaceTimed and texted her every day, felt something was not right.
Did she ever express fear of Skylar?
No, but sometimes, she acted a little weird. Like when I asked her, when's Skylar coming home? And she's like, oh, well, I have to clean this before he gets home. I have to shampoo the carpets and make sure everything's just in perfect order.
Is that because she wanted to do that, or she felt she had to do it for him?
I don't think she wanted to do it. I think he was forcing her to do that kind of stuff. I just had a feeling in my gut.
When was the last time you talked to her?
The night she died.
Skylar had just returned from a grueling 19-day training mission in Yakima. It was around 5 p.m.
We were FaceTiming and she was sitting at her computer desk. Skylar was in the background on the couch and she ran over to him and jumped on his lap and was acting all happy that he was home.
And did he talk? Could you see whether he was in a good mood?
He seemed like he was in a good mood.
Do you remember the last thing she said to you?
She just said that I love you so much and I can't wait to talk to you next.
They hung up, and 12 minutes later, Danielle Nemitz was dead.
Is she breathing at all?
We're NCIS. You guys want to see me do the cha-cha slide?
Can we get to the body, please?
Right.
Oh, what's got you so punchy lately?
Not punchy, passionate.
Is this a dread team or what?
We're NCIS.
NCIS, all episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
Actually, two things. Pretty sure it's three.
Guys, whether it's news, money, health, or wellness, sports, movies, or even inspiration.
Clearly, CBS Mornings is the place to be. That's like 7 things.
Okay, clearly, I'm bad at math, always been. Clearly, CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
We can start whenever you're ready. Ready? Yeah. No, stop! Wrong pedal, wrong other pedal! Oh! He's in a wheelchair! What do you want? God, stop the car! That's a kid! Kid! Give it to me. Did I pass?
Now serving 942.
Go to the ends of the earth.
We'll hit the heights.
A great adventure together.
And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
So cool.
But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
Something that's undeniable.
With mindfulness.
Innovative.
Magical.
It's like being a child.
And truly original reporting.
God, you do your research. I tell a good story.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Hi, CBS. I'm Tom Ellis. I can't wait for you to see my new show, CIA, coming CBS Fall.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
You get the stories of America every weeknight. You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying. We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here.
We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country. All episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus and returning CBS Fall.
I'm really excited. I hope you enjoy. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I will check you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.
James Peltier will never forget the last time he saw the girl he loved like a second daughter.
She come through the door and just come running over to me, jumped in the air, give me a big old bear hug.
What is the hardest part, James?
Not hearing her voice, not seeing her.
James and his wife Sam plan to attend every day of the trial, hoping to find justice for Danielle.
As soon as I knew he had shot and killed her, there was no doubt in my mind that it had to have been purposeful. I mean, who takes a gun and points it at somebody? Why are you pointing a gun at somebody?
It's clear that he's an expert when it comes to handling firearms.
Too much of an expert to make such a mistake, says Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Greg Greer.
By the time he's in the Army, he's building AR-15s. It's clear he's obsessed with guns. How could it be accidental, considering his expertise with firearms?
The detectives doubted Skylar's story from the beginning.
Okay, I'm good with weapons. I've used weapons a lot, okay? But this time
That's just it. I don't think you'd violate those safety rules to the back of your wife's head if you really loved her. You might if you were pissed off.
That direct hit, dead center to the back of Danielle's head, seemed more like an execution than an accident.
Tell me what happened.
The more Skylar talked, the guiltier he looked in the eyes of his interrogators, in part because he kept changing his story about how he held the gun before it went off.
I was holding it, I went like this, and I hit it on my thigh. And when I did that, I don't know what happened. Like, when I hit it against that, it went off.
Then he switched to this.
It was on my shoulder. It was on my shoulder, it was on my breast. It was up high. It was around here. I don't know why I thought it was on my thigh, but that was just...
You didn't think it was on your thigh. You thought the story sounded better, Skylar. I'm not a stupid guy.
I'm in the interrogation room 45 minutes after Danielle dies. And I'm trying to figure it all out for myself. My mind is just destroyed.
I don't remember where the hell they were. I don't know where they were.
But Greer says Skylar's actions speak louder than his words.
The strongest evidence, believe it or not, is what he does immediately after the fact.
Skylar didn't call 911. A neighbor did. And there wasn't a single drop of Danielle's blood on him. A clear sign that he didn't try to save or even comfort her, says Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Jared Osser.
He doesn't render aid at all. He never checks on his wife. If it was an accident, he's going to drop the weapon immediately, run over, grab her, assess her. He doesn't do that.
She wasn't alive.
Skylar, sitting with his lawyer, told us in his only interview, not holding Danielle is something he regrets to this day.
I wish I would have held her.
Why didn't you?
I was scared. I was freaked out, and I didn't know what to do. I seriously didn't. My brain I was not all there.
Good morning. Please be seated.
But at trial, Greer hopes to show that Skylar knew exactly what he was doing.
This is a case about control.
Greer uses Skylar's own texts to paint him as an angry, controlling husband who wanted Danielle to know he was in charge.
Danielle, what the f***? We have Amazon. You don't need the Prime shit. Come on. Can you ask before you with my money? Thanks. You're an idiot.
Who talks to their wife like that at any stage of their marriage, much less the beginning stages of their marriage?
Someone consumed by jealousy, says Greer. In one text, Skylar accuses Danielle of going on a date with Jeremy Henry, an old friend from high school. Danielle writes back, "You have either insecurities you need to work on, or you don't trust me when it comes to hanging out with Jeremy."
I think that this truly was her friend from high school. I think everything was just in the mind of Mr. Nemitz, that he believed the worst, and it got to him.
Greer says Skylar erupted in a jealous rage the day he got home from training, believe it or not, over those bottles.
It's the most significant aspect of this case is going to be 2 bottles of alcohol.
And this is the state star witness, Skylar's Army buddy, Anthony Foss. He was supposed to buy the 2 bottles of alcohol for Skylar.
I was going home early, a few days before the rest of the guys, so he asked if I can buy alcohol for them because they weren't 21.
Turns out Foss did not get the alcohol. Too busy, didn't do it. Danielle panics somewhat because she needs to get this. He really wants this alcohol.
So Danielle gets 2 other guys to go with her to buy the alcohol. One is her old friend, Jeremy Henry, but Skylar had no idea until he went to thank Foss for the alcohol.
And Foss gives a look and says, "I didn't buy that, and you know who did."
Foss claims Skylar got visibly angry.
He was mad because she lied about how she got the booze, because Mr. Foss didn't get it for her like he promised.
And while Skylar may have appeared in a good mood on that FaceTime call between Danielle and Michaela, prosecutors believe he was hiding his anger, lying in wait like a well-trained soldier.
He waited for her to get off the phone and shot her in the back of the head.
This was an act of rage. You were mad for some reason, and you shot her.
No, I'm mad at my wife.
And then you went and tried to hide everything.
Skylar had told police he stashed the gun back in the closet, emptied the bottles of alcohol, and threw them off the balcony. The police believed he wanted to get rid of evidence linking him to a motive.
Throw the gun in the closet like it didn't happen. Oh, it didn't happen. All gone.
Skylar knows it looks bad, so he's about to do something defendants rarely do.
I can live with I'm the reason Danielle died, but I can't live with being called a murderer.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
This was an entire building. It will take years to rebuild.
We're from CBS News, American television.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This case.
It's like a screenplay, something straight out of Hollywood.
But it's not fiction. It's 48 hours.
Human remains found this week.
4 families shattered.
There's no physical evidence.
The mystery would haunt investigators for years.
There's some questions that have to be asked and need to be answered.
Like a John Grisham novel.
A gripping true crime original. 48 hours. Now streaming on the free CBS News app.
No matter how you start your day, one thing is clear.
CBS Mornings is the best way to start your day.
I can see clearly now.
My morning routine.
The first thing I do when I wake up is turn off the alarm.
I try to remember where I put my phone down.
One alarm goes off at 4 a.m.
I need not 1, not 2, but...
And I'm out the door at 4:15.
3 snoozes to get out of bed fully coherent.
How much detail are you looking for?
I love a bath full of bubbles. The more bubbles, the better.
I'm very quick with the actual coffee, shave, shower, dressed out the door, but all around that is just pure chaos. For example, this morning, these are dirty socks.
You want my honest answer? Am I a morning person? I gotta be honest. I wish morning started at like 10 a.m. Can I say that? Clearly.
It's a bright, bright, bright way to start your day. CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
People with developmental disabilities were once sequestered by the hundreds of thousands in institutions.
Many of our fellow citizens are suffering tremendously because lack of attention, lack of imagination, lack of adequate manpower.
Disability activists have since torn down barriers blocking them from living at home or in the community.
We conclude that Title II of the ADA requires states to provide community-based treatment for persons with mental disabilities.
But of the 16,000 people who remain in state-operated institutions, half are in 5 states, and Illinois is one of them.
I don't want to live in the institution. It makes me feel discriminated against.
Do you think there are people living in institutions in Illinois that don't need to be living there?
Yeah, because they're proving it as soon as they get out.
What happens when we follow the human side of the headline?
I was in tears.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I said it to myself that I can't make this about me.
You get the all-new CBS Evening News.
Danette Heller still remembers waking up in terror one autumn night in 2014.
I had a horrible dream that Danielle shot Skylar in the head. It really shook me up.
A month later, that horrible dream became a terrible reality. Only it wasn't Danielle who pulled the trigger. It was Danette's son. And as the detective who broke the news put it, it didn't look good for Skylar.
He goes, "Your son's going away for prison the rest of his life."
Danette believes the detectives had their minds made up the minute Skylar walked into that interrogation room.
They found him guilty within hours without investigating.
I don't know if you're trying to accuse me of killing. I understand I killed my wife. I killed my wife, okay? I killed my wife!
I'm just trying to figure out why.
Danette knew she was in for a fight and went looking for the best criminal defense lawyer she could find.
Okay, all right.
She chose Michael Stewart.
I've been a defense attorney for 20 plus years. Toughest case I've had.
Why?
Because I've got a kid that I absolutely believe. I believe this is an accident. And the facts and the circumstances around it look bad.
He knows the challenge will be convincing 12 jurors that a highly skilled soldier with years of weapons training could make such a fatal mistake.
The state wants you to believe that a dead, tired kid could never make a mistake. It had to be intentional. Because nobody makes mistakes with guns.
But Stewart is able to get the state's own gun experts to admit on the stand that mistakes can be made. It's not always easy to tell when the AR-15 rifle is loaded.
If the order
is not followed precisely. You can easily load a weapon thinking that you are actually clearing it, correct?
Yes. You put a gun to your shoulder and you pull the trigger.
Next, Stewart takes aim at the contention that Skylar shouldered the gun when it went off.
I don't know.
Stewart says the investigators pushed Skylar to admit that, as Skylar was struggling to remember what happened.
I thought it was on my thigh.
He told the police that he had it down low, and then he said it was around here and around here.
I think it might have even been on my breast or my shoulder. I don't know.
They're ratcheting you into a story that makes it fit how they view a case.
Defense forensics expert Kay Sweeney testifies that Skylar was not shouldering the gun.
What do you believe the height of that bullet was?
46.5 inches above the floor, approximately.
That would put the gun just below his chest. But what about that direct hit to the middle of Danielle's head?
That is just sheer chance. And there's so many times I've thought, like, why couldn't it have been 2 inches to the right?
On day 12 of the trial, Stewart has a heart-to-heart with his client about the single most important decision he may ever make.
I said, kid, we've shown so much in this case. I don't think you need to take the stand.
Despite the risks, Skylar felt he had no choice.
But I needed to, I wanted to, because for Danielle.
On the night before, I watched Skylar preparing for one of the toughest days of his life.
How are you feeling tonight?
I'm a little overwhelmed.
I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. I'm so nervous for Skylar.
The defense calls Skylar Nemitz. Did you intend to hurt your wife?
I did not. I did not intend to hurt my wife. I never did.
Stewart wants to show Skylar as a loving husband, not the controlling person depicted in those texts. He points to the scores of other texts from Skylar. Ones like, "I'm going to bed, hon. I love you. Hey, babe, how was your day?" Then Stewart turns to the state star witness, Anthony Foss. Remember, he said Skylar was furious when he told him that Danielle had turned to 2 other men to buy the alcohol.
I was not angry at all. In fact, I never had any sort of conversation with Anthony Foss.
But why would he lie? I mean, why would, under oath?
Why does anybody lie? But I know that never actually happened.
Another Army buddy, Richard Oakley, backs Skylar's story. He testifies he didn't even see Anthony Foss on base that day, and that Skylar was excited to see Danielle.
They both seemed pretty happy. They were both smiling. Everything seemed good.
You look at everything leading up to this day, and there really isn't any of this tension. There never was a motive. This is an accident.
But now it's the moment Greer has been waiting for. His chance to grill Skylar. And he wanted to show him as a killer. He puts the gun that killed Danielle back into Skylar's hands, hoping to burn that image into jurors' minds.
I wanted to expose him. I wanted to show them that he had things to hide. Mr. Foss told you he did not purchase those 2 bottles.
But his repeated challenges
I do not recall him saying that.
don't seem to rattle Skylar.
I did not talk to Anthony Foss that entire day, sir.
He either dodged the question or claimed to not remember. Your finger takes from safe to fire, and you pull the trigger, and she's 5 feet away from you, and that round hits her square in the middle of the back of the head.
That is not how it happened, sir.
You don't recall telling the detectives that?
Are you asking if I know that from my memory, sir?
Mr. Nemitz, do you recall telling the detectives that?
Not from my memory, sir.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Skylar and his attorney hope the impression that stays with the jurors is Skylar's emotional testimony about what he says really happened that terrible day.
I got off the couch and I went into the room to put this rifle away. The gun went off, and
Did you pull the trigger, Skylar?
I don't recall pulling the trigger, but I know the trigger had to be pulled for the weapon to go off. After the smoke cleared, I saw my wife, and she wasn't moving. And I dropped the weapon, and I went up to my wife on the left side, and I saw her face, and my wife wasn't there anymore.
Did you know she was dead?
I knew she was dead, and I didn't know what to do. I never meant to hurt her. I never meant to hurt her.
Stewart fears that Skylar's tears may not be enough to win the full acquittal they had hoped for. So he makes a stunning strategic move.
And this is hard for a defense attorney to say.
He actually tells the jury to find his client guilty
Manslaughter in the second degree.
of the lesser charge of manslaughter.
It is manslaughter. It is. Tell you what it's not. It's not premeditated first-degree murder. I believe his soul is pure, but his hands aren't. He was negligent in the operation of that weapon.
Thank you very much.
What will the jury decide? They will wrestle with the case for days.
CBS Mornings is clearly fun.
Money saving. Dollar Jill's here to tell us what it means for you. Clearly delish. So what's on the menu today?
Clearly, CBS Mornings weekdays at 7 on CBS.
What happens when the world's best journalists come together?
Write a prescription for the healing of America.
We're retired and this is our paradise. Now it's gone.
You get the stories of America every night. You get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
This is CBS.
I had progressively fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting.
The risk is the rush. What do you think is driving the spike in popularity? I think it's legality.
If it's legal, I'm going to use it. There are ways to bet when you are 18.
We've created an epidemic of child gambling.
You can't walk into a male dormitory in a college campus without sports betting happening.
It's America's most neglected problem.
I use sports betting as a way to escape, when in reality, I'm choosing self-destruction. Whatever I had left, it was gone.
The purpose of the industry is to get you to play to extinction. And that means until all your money is gone.
Go to the ends of the earth. We'll hit the heights. And reach for the stars.
Star power. I like it.
Ta-da!
I want to be part of this.
Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
You've probably heard of the NCIS from the hit TV series, but we're about to take you inside its real-life work. Listen to 48 Hours NCIS early and ad-free on the 48 Hours Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, let's go. You guys good?
Start at the beginning.
All right, we good?
Keep going. The clock, it's ticking.
Off we go.
60 minutes. Is this what you want?
60 minutes.
60 minutes!
It's time for 60 Minutes, Sundays on CBS.
My days are like roller coasters going up and down and just hard. My heart hurts all the time.
After a month-long trial,
I love you.
Skylar Niemitz's future is in the hands of the jury.
Most jurors are asked to decide whether someone's guilty or innocent. That wasn't the case for you.
Ralph Flick, a civil lawyer, is the jury's foreman.
This is not a whodunit case. Like, we know who did it. He says he pulled the triggers. So our question was what was going on in his head, which was what made this case so challenging.
Jurors have to determine Skylar's intent on that terrible day. If they believe he pulled that trigger to kill his wife, that's murder, and he could face more than 30 years in prison. But if he pulled it by accident, even a reckless accident, that's manslaughter.
I never meant to hurt you. I love you so much, Danielle.
As the jurors deliberate,
I'm hoping that it's going to be a swift verdict.
everyone else waits.
The jury's been deliberating now for 2 days plus.
Day
There's nothing I can do. It's out of my hands.
after day
This is the 6th day. Who can take this waiting?
after day.
I'm nervous. I'm wondering what the jury is doing right now.
I think when you play dangerous games, there are consequences.
4 jurors agreed to explain the difficult decision they had to make. Prosecutors said Skylar shot his young wife in a jealous rage. But at trial, there was only one witness, the Army buddy Anthony Foss, who says Skylar Niemitz was angry that day.
Without Anthony Foss, there's no evidence of any kind of a fight that day. That nobody heard anything or saw anything.
And Foss was contradicted by other witnesses, including Skylar.
I do not remember seeing Anthony Foss that day.
If it's at all questionable, that whole part of the case falls apart.
Jurors were troubled by Skylar's suspicious behavior after he shot Danielle, not calling 911 and emptying bottles of alcohol. But more significant was the 12 minutes leading up to the shooting, when prosecutors claimed Skylar was seething with anger. Jurors just didn't see it.
Where did this jealous rage that led to an execution come from?
And what did they think of Skylar himself?
Was he credible?
Seemed very coached, very rehearsed.
Seemed coached, rehearsed. Even the crying for me was a little bit like theatrical, I guess you could call it.
I thought he was so unreliable every time he spoke that I don't really think that his testimony hurt him or helped him. It was really hard to believe him anything he said.
But what troubled jurors most was how Skylar, a firearms expert, could make this kind of mistake. Brad Hardesty is a retired Army soldier.
Never point the weapon in the direction of anybody and pull the trigger like that, believing that it's unloaded.
To me, there was one key fact in the whole case. Did Skylar know or did he believe that there was a bullet in the chamber?
So jurors did their own test, recreating what the state's gun expert had demonstrated in the courtroom.
Was it possible that Skylar thought the gun was unloaded?
Yeah,
absolutely. I believe so.
A round could have been in the chamber. And Skylar pulled back on the charging handle. Nothing came out. He thinks it's empty. The bolt goes back forward, and he pulls the trigger.
Still, what about that perfect shot right to the center of Danielle's head?
Now, you might believe that it's not or it's unlikely, but it still could have been. It's a reasonable conclusion that it could have been a mistake.
If they could have given me one good piece of evidence that proved that there could have been intent, I might have taken that and said, well, it's good enough for me, but it wasn't there.
After 7 long days, the jurors finally agree on a verdict.
When the verdict form is handed to the judge, there is nothing like it. That moment, when you know what your fate is going to be, wow.
Find the defendant guilty of manslaughter in the 1st degree.
Guilty of manslaughter in the 1st degree, the reckless taking of a life. It's a win of sorts for the defense. A terrible disappointment for prosecutors. Before Skylar is taken to jail, he and his mother are allowed a final goodbye. 3 weeks later, Inmate Skylar Nemitz is back in court to learn his sentence. Danette is there. So are Danielle's friends and family, including her younger sister. All eyes are on Skylar as he addresses Judge Jack Nevin.
It's about Danielle, and it always will be. They were my actions and my actions alone, and I take full responsibility for them. I was reckless and negligent, and for that I will pay.
And then Skylar apologizes.
I'm sorry to everybody here
for what he's done.
Most of all, I'm sorry to Danielle. I'm sorry that she was ripped out from this world, and I'm sorry to her friends and family, and I accept any punishment that you give me.
With that, Judge Nevin gives Skylar Nemitz the maximum sentence. 13.5 years in prison. Watching from the back of the courtroom are some of the jurors.
I kind of feel like I owe it to Danielle.
Juror Ralph Flick says he will be haunted forever by this video of Danielle shooting a rifle.
There she is holding a weapon just like the one that killed her. She finishes shooting and she looks into the camera with this big bright smile on her face, her whole future in front of her. And what was lost when she was killed was, to me, captured in that final frame of that little clip.
What happens when you get conversation over conflict?
Anyone that doesn't agree women should be in the submarine force has to ask themselves why they would think about that.
I think they've taught me to have grace and compassion.
When we follow the human side of the headline.
Life is a little bit different now.
It's gonna take a while to get used to. And I say it to myself that I can't make this about me.
When we put people before politics.
What would happen if it was harder for Mexican residents to come over to work in Presidio?
I think we'd be in serious trouble.
Are you okay, ma'am?
What happens when you experience the story?
I'm shocked at how devastated this neighborhood is. How bad is it in your house?
Look at it.
When news takes you where the story happens.
We've just crossed into Lebanon.
Here in Chicago.
Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania.
When the world's best journalists come together to cover your world, you get the all-new CBS Evening News every weeknight.
Ready?
Yeah. You ready?
And 1, 2, 3. Hey!
I can see clearly now.
Look at this outfit, baby. Give me some love, baby.
We got a toy. Look at this.
Oh, no!
Time for another quick meal you can make any night of the week.
We've got tips to save on clothes, tech,
and more.
How I got here is nothing short of like a miracle.
Talent.
Talent.
It's a bright, bright way to start your day. See you
on CBS Mornings.
Here comes a big one.
What I've seen, it's like chaos.
This is the pager that Hezbollah was using.
How was this possible?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Whoa.
Wow.
Ask me the hard-hitting questions. I'm open to all of it.
60